Talking of anniversaries, we've had the anniversary of the 1982 win over West Germany. We've had the anniversary of the 1983 win over West Germany. We've just had the 30th anniversary of that night in November. And on Tuesday, it was the 39th anniversary of the occasion of John O'Neill's only competitive goal for Northern Ireland, which came at Windsor Park in a 2-1 comeback victory over Finland, a vital result that helped send Northern Ireland to the Mexico World Cup. John?
Some have said to me, Michael, it's the goal that got us to Mexico, but I'm not so sure.
It was a bullet of a header from an Ian Stewart corner.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not sure whether it was flicked on or not. I can't remember whether it just came straight to me, and I was one lucky enough. It was inside the 5-yard box and it hit me on the head and went in. I'm
not saying it's a long time ago, but I think the BBC are looking to colorise the clip on YouTube for the younger generation. Right, it is. We can't say it enough. We're lucky we're in this little glass pod hanging over the running track at the Olympic Stadium, scene of the 1952 Olympics. It's a very healthy crowd for what is effectively a dead rubber in terms of qualification. Finland can't qualify from Group H after 3 straight defeats. They're all in white with that broad blue cross on the front of their shirts. Northern Ireland all in green, and they are lined out with Conor Hazard in goal, wing backs of Trey Hume, who started the last 6 before tonight, and Jamal Lewis. 3 at the back, Owen Toll, Paddy McNair and Dan Ballard. McNair back after suspension. Then Ross McCausland making his debut, Captain George Saville winning his 50th cap in his 6-year international career, and Jordan Thompson, who, if he gets yellow carded tonight, will miss Monday night's game against Denmark. Then Isaac Price making his 4th start in this campaign behind Dion Charles, who's been on the bench for the last 3. And it's worth making the point, there are 3 possible debutants off the bench: Fleetwood Town goalkeeper Stephen McMullen, Michael Forbes of West Ham, and Terry Devlin from Portsmouth, all waiting their possible first senior international cap. And of the rest of the bench, only 2 players, John, have more than 20 caps, and that's Conor Washington and Josh McGuinness. Not much experience on the bench. There's
not, and we know that this campaign has been dogged by injuries right from day one. It's going to be a difficult night for the players, for both sets of players. There's nothing at stake. It's always been difficult coming to play in Finland, and I don't think it's going to be any different tonight. We know that they have a playoff spot coming up in March, so at least they have that in their back pocket.
Yes.
But I think Joel's right. I think it's like a changing of the guard for us now.
They have kicked off. Northern Ireland all in green, playing from right to left. As we look, some of the latecomers are making their way into their seats, and everybody is wrapped up here at the Olympic Stadium. And it's a touch for Dan Ballard, who's winning cap number 21. And here is Paddy McNair lofting it forward, looking for Dion Charles, who's wearing 10, chipped forward by Finland. And that'll be a chance for Ballard, who's got a very short haircut, getting it back to Conor Hazard, making his 2nd competitive start. And racing away down that right-hand side is Trey Hume. It doesn't look the greatest natural grass surface in the world, but conditions are very, very tricky here in Helsinki. Northern Ireland have never won a competitive game in Finland. Their only victory in that friendly international in 2006 here in Helsinki.
Yeah, as I said, it's always been difficult here. The pitch, when we were on it last night, looks a little bit rough in patches. We know that they have undersoil heat, and otherwise the game would never have been played, because it is very, very cold.
Isaac Price dashing down that left-hand side. He thinks that ball forward got a touch off a Finnish defender, and it did. So Isaac Price, almost level with the 18-yard box, will leave this throw-in to be taken by Jamal Lewis, winning cap number 33. And you can see his breath coming out. You can see it, clouds of mist and steam. Freezing night here. Jamal Lewis looking for movement. He throws to the feet of Isaac Price. The blonde-haired Ross McCausland waiting for his first touch, and Jamal Lewis has done well. He's won the corner off Rasmus Schuller, who's winning cap number 73. Finland have got Radetsky in goal, a back 4 of Alho, Tenho, Ivanov and Peltola. They've made 2 changes in defence since that late defeat against Kazakhstan here a month ago. Then Kamara, Schuller and Kerinen, and an attacking trio of Fredrik Jensen, Poyan Palo and Hawkins. Here comes the corner for Northern Ireland from the left-hand side, over the top of the goalkeeper, beats everybody, and it evades Paddy McNair at the back post, and that was a very decent delivery from Isaac Price, but it goes out on the far side for goal kick to be taken by Horetsky. Radetzky's winning cap number 90.
That was one of the best corners we've had in a long while, and I don't know what happened there. I think Paddy McNair will be very disappointed if he sees this again. He had a free header. It's almost as if he took his eye off the ball and totally missed it.
The other point we can make, Conor McMenamin, no start for him. He's still on the bench. He's been one of the bright sparks of this campaign.
Yeah, we were saying, it's strange that he wasn't originally in the squad. So, in the 2 days that they trained, he must have impressed Michael O'Neill enough to give him a start. But it's another one, we can get a look at, Michael, and as I say, the future is what we're sort of looking at now.
Number of the Finnish players wearing gloves. As I look around, I don't think any of the Northern Ireland, barring Conor Hazard, but the Finns, virtually all of them are wearing black gloves. Chipped forward down that left-hand side, hasn't been cut out by Saville, the captain. This is Kerrinan on the left-hand side. The man who scored that goal we heard in the opening of the programme, Chelman, he's on the bench along with Teemu Pukki. And Finland, I think a lot of fans might have bought tickets a few months ago thinking that this could be a potential qualification sealer
they
for Finland.
But collapsed, didn't they, Michael?
They collapsed over the last three. They've scored one goal in their last three defeats, and it's all gone a bit pear-shaped for Markku Kanerva's team. Number 5, Miro Tenho, one of the former teammates of Conor Hazard, who played 39 games for HJK Helsinki. The ground's about 200 yards behind us, and he was on loan and won a title. And 4 of his former teammates are in this Finnish squad this evening. The 2 unlucky Northern Ireland squad members not to be named in the matchday squad are Caelan Boyd-Muntz and also Matty Kennedy. Finland tried to chip the ball through. It's a slow start to this game. We've played 4 minutes, and Camara who's wrestling to try and get the ball forward, and Hawkins on that far side. He's got away from Hume. Hume gets a tackle in. No, Saville's been thrown to the floor, and that'll be a free kick. Aliar Agaev of Azerbaijan is our referee in that bright lemony green luminous top, and it'll be a Northern Ireland free kick. And George Saville, who made his first start in the second leg of the playoff.
Yeah, he's feeling
6 years ago.
Yeah, he's feeling that little tackle there. I would say, even though the
ground is solid.
The ground is solid. I remember the last time I played a match as cold as this was we played France in the Parc de France, and not only did they come out with gloves, they come out with tights and everything, and we were looking at them with the short sleeves.
Well, but your old Leicester teammate Keith Weller made the tights fashionable back in the 70s.
Yeah, it was so funny when he came into the dressing room with Jock Wallace at the time, and everybody knows Jock Wallace, ex-Rangers manager, made of granite, and he looked at Keith Weller with a pair of tights. I can't tell you what he said to him.
Scored a goal wearing them. That's a long ball forward. Conor Hazard. This is a deflected shot by Isaac Price and an easy take for Radetzky, who's 34 next Friday. He's all in orange. And Conor Hazard, who has lost his starting place at Plymouth after the return from injury of Mike Cooper. He's all in blue away to our right.
Well, we were talking about it last night, Mike, over dinner. There's so many places in this Northern Ireland team that are up for grabs. Nobody has really cemented their position.
Here we go, John. They're trying to play out from the back. Possibly one of Northern Ireland's best attacking ploys.
Yeah, let them play out. And Nick, you're always told you don't lose the ball in your final third, and in football today it happens so many times. It just amazes me.
I'm not sure the blonde-headed Ross McCausland wearing number 8. Well, he's won the ball back. This is his first touch. Real chance for him to attack now. He's got 2 teammates with him. Isaac Price with a shot, and it's straight at a diving Lucas Radetzky. So the error let in McCausland is a good square ball to Isaac Price, who hit it side-footed first time, but there was no real power and no great accuracy in it, and a relatively easy save for Radetzky.
Yeah, McCausland was on his toes, Mike. I think that's down to the pitch. I think where the white lines are, I think it's actually more solid than the green part of the pitch. And it was a lovely cross in, but he just didn't even get enough on the shot.
It's a bit like the Northwest 200, with the skiddiest parts of a wet track or the white lines and the white paint.
Exactly, yeah.
Now Finland playing from left to right, and it's big Miro Tenho, central defender, to the right back Nikolai Alho, winning his 34th cap, and back to the Bayer Leverkusen goalkeeper Radetzky. You can hear the Finnish fans chanting. They're a very friendly nation. Long ball forward played to Karanen. Karanen has evaded the challenge, edge of the penalty area. Lots of green shirts getting back in defence, but they have the ball out in that left-hand side with Kauna. And a chance now for Karanen to try and turn on that left-hand side. Finland on the attack with Camera of Leeds United. Infield to Schuller. 21 players inside the Northern Ireland halfway to our life. And yes, it's a It's a skiddy pitch, and I think it's giving a bit of a skid to the ball as well.
I think that's what caught Ballard. Originally he cut out the pass, but then it got stuck underneath his feet, and now it sort of just led to this little period of pressure with Finland. They're on the ball, but they're not creating any chances here.
Northern Ireland won the ball back well, but they've lost possession on that far side. It was a good challenge coming in from Owen Toll. Strangely, always so used to the numbers, and number 5 was always Johnny Evans. No Johnny Evans here tonight. No Owen Toll is wearing 5, making his winning his second cap. Owen Toll, the man who plays for Bolton Wanderers, as does Dion Charles, who's got 11 goals so far for Bolton. Dion Charles been on the bench for the last 3 qualifiers. Here come the Finns on the left hand side. We've played nearly 8 minutes in Helsinki. It's 0-0. Isaac Price's shot saved by the Finnish goalkeeper, the only real opportunity, but Camara trying to work the ball to the blonde-headed Puyen Palo, and Isaac Price has won it back, and he flicks it on. Dion Charles has been cynically brought down by Miro Tenho, and that'll be a free kick inside the centre circle in the Finnish half. Yeah,
I think Charles is having a little word with the referee. He could have booked him, in the modern game today. I mean, he's basically been sandwiched between the two centre halves, and he was brought down. Definitely a free kick.
We've been bemoaning the Northern Irish set pieces in this camp. We've been bemoaning them for a while, not just in this campaign. Let's see what Jordan Thompson's going to do. There's words from the bench. Jeremy O'Carroll and Michael O'Neill in their black training gear and heavy jackets. O'Neill's got his hands up, chipped into the edge of the penalty area. The defensive header away, loose down to Isaac Price on this left hand side. Paddy McNair popping up. It's a bit of a rough track down there in that bottom corner.
Yeah, but again, Michael, McNair's in the perfect place to swing that ball in, and again, like they do a lot of the times in the modern football, they come back out and they take it across the field.
Now that's an important challenge coming in from Craig Hume. He's asking for the corner kick to the tower. It's not going to go out for a corner kick. It's going to go out for a throw in, and it's going to go out for a Finland throw in on this near side. We've got this running track that's covered over by plastic grass right in front of us, down where the technical areas and the dugouts are.
Yeah, it's basically the same stadium, but they just knocked, the pitch and the running track seems to be basically the same since the last time we were here. But it's strange when you actually come out onto the roof, Michael, and then climb down into the
It's like climbing box into a little submarine here. Or Webb and Mitchell's smallest office is a bit like that. We've got a heater, which is great. Now this is good work by Northern Ireland on the left hand side. Captain Saville gives it to Lewis. Lewis has got defender in front of him. He's 2 defenders in front of him. Saville, with a little passing triangle, have lost the ball. Over elaborate, but well done. Dion Charles winning it back, and they work it out to Lewis again on the left hand side. Saville goes in the overlapping run. It's all a little bit slow and laboured. Dion Charles is waiting for the ball into the area. It's gone to the back post, headed away. McCausland trying to win it back. Jordan Thompson is there. Thompson's beaten 1, he's beaten 2. He's inside the penalty area. He's going well, Jordan Thompson, but he's just pushed off it by the defender, and that's out of play for the goal kick.
Yeah, Avanov was strong and stayed up against him, but he was the third defender that Thompson came up against. He was unlucky there breaking into the box. But Michael, I keep saying, if you get anywhere within the 18-yard box, put it into the box. The centre half won that, but we were able to pick up the pieces on the 18-yard box. And I would love to see us just putting more balls into the box, not only in this game but in all the games. This possession football is driving me mad.
Later on, Denmark against Slovenia, a meeting of the top 2. Earlier on, Kazakhstan ensured that they will be in the mix come Monday night.
I was looking at the
3-1 win over San Marino.
I was looking at the possible playoffs for Finland as well. I think they've got a good chance. I know that I think they have to play 2 games to get to the
These are the Nations League playoffs that Northern Ireland failed to.
But I think they've got a decent permutation at the minute. I know that can change,
we love the playoffs, John, don't we?
We can't wait.
The Nations League as well. 8th of February, put that down in your diaries. That's the Nations League draw in Paris. Remember, Shea Charles is suspended, and a yellow card tonight for Jordan Thompson. See him suspended for Monday's game at Windsor Park against Denmark. McCausland, he's run that out of play on the far side. So it's a bit of a nervy start for the young fella.
Well, it's only natural, he probably thought at the time when he was called in, he was just there, because there was a few injuries, and that Michael was bringing him into the squad just to have the experience of being around the squad. But he's gone straight in. We were just saying before the game, I remember there was myself, Maldoni and Billy Hamilton all came into the squad at the same time. But I think it was nearly 2 years before we got a game.
That may be more about you than anything else, John.
Maybe.
Finland in possession of the football on the far side. Remember, you can hear Northern Ireland, Denmark. BBC Sounds, BBC Radio Ulster. 7:45 kick-off on Monday night when Group H concludes. Long ball forward by the Finns. Trey Hume has nodded it down away convincingly. Finland have it in the edge of the penalty area. Spread by Schuller. Long range shot. That's going to be deflected and that's going to spin out of play. It came off the foot of Can Kerinen. Took a deflection out for a Finnish corner on the far side in the 13th minute.
Yeah, Thompson closed him down, Michael. He did well and went out for a corner. But again, I think it was partly due to the pitch that was giving toll problems in trying to clear the ball. It does look a little bit bumpy over there.
Corner will be taken on the left-hand side by Fredrik Jensen of Augsburg. Bright orange boots. And they're clapping. They've got little torches as well. Curling in on top of the goalkeeper. He's missed it. Hazard missed it. And it was missed by the man in the white shirt, the back post as well. Not convincing by the Northern Ireland goalkeeper, and it's out of play for a corner on the right-hand side.
No, he was flapping at that one, and I think he knows he was lucky to get away with it. And I'm not sure who was it. Was it Jensen? It was in the back post. No, it wasn't. It was Poyampalo. And I think the fact that Hazard missed it actually put him off, because it was one really the keeper should have taken.
Poyampalo, the most blonde of the two or three blondes in this Finnish team. Here comes the corner from the right-hand side. Hazard has got his arms up in the air. It's well headed away by Ballard on the volley. It's been fluffed by Schuller. It's still there. The danger's still there. Volley coming in. Well saved in the end by Conor Hazard from Poyampalo.
Yeah, it was a difficult one. It was one that was bouncing right in front of him, and he did well to hold it. Ballard originally got the corner out, but it was one of those ones. It was not a back in. It was bouncing about, and when the contact was made, Hazard did well to get down.
Horrible night for goalkeepers,
isn't it? Yeah. Whether it's I think the pitch itself is not great. For
Hazard
back passes, you need to be careful.
On, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. Yeah.
Whereas Radetzky's maybe more used to it, but the ball is at the feet of Daniel Ballard, back in the Northern Ireland team, as is Paddy McNair. McNair was suspended. Flicked forward by Price, curling it into the path, attempting it curling into the path of Ross McCausland. Out of play by the left back Matti Peltola. And Northern Ireland throw in taken quickly on that far side. It's 0-0. We've played nearly 15 minutes in Helsinki, and the penultimate match for both these countries in Euro Championship qualifying Group H. Neither team can qualify through this campaign or this qualifying process. Finland have got a Nations League playoff that could give them a backdoor slot. I think that's in the spring, isn't it?
Yeah, March. I think the first games are in March.
Well, Northern Ireland, all they've got to look forward to is a Nations League campaign, and then eventually, some stage in 2025, the start of a remodeled World Cup qualifying campaign. This is Lewis on the left-hand side. He's got two defenders in front of him. Lewis, he's on that. There's a rough patch there down by the corners, but he gets the ball back. This is nearly good by Northern Ireland. The Dion Charles gets it out to Thompson, waiting for a decent delivery into the area. Hume square to Saville, still hasn't scored a goal. This is his 50th cap. Chips it to Jamal Lewis, has seen a lot of the ball this left-hand side. Price has gone the overlapping run. Lewis, ball's got to get in there, and Saville's pass was not a good one. It's coughed up possession to the men in white with that broad blue cross in the shirts. And Schuller flicks onto the nose of Jordan Thompson. That's good work by Paddy McNair.
He's done well. But again, Michael, we're on the edge of the 18-yard box and we can't get a ball into the box. We've got to find a way to get down the sides and turn the back defensive line. We were talking about it last night again. As a centre half, I love it when the wingers go down the wing, and instead of crossing the ball into the box, they come back and go across the 18-yard box again. As defenders, they can do that all day as far as I'm concerned.
Back with Radetzky. Northern Ireland have dropped down the FIFA rankings through this campaign. I know it's not a hugely accurate indication, but they're currently behind the likes of Uzbekistan and Cape Verde, a collection of islands in the Atlantic of 600,000 people where basketball is the main sport.
We do look at rankings every now and again, but they mean nothing to Northern Ireland, because Northern Ireland's, the fate of Northern Ireland is going to depend on a cyclical flow of players. We're going to get a bunch of players at a certain time. It's just a matter of when that's going to be. We're now all hoping that after this campaign, it might develop like Michael's first campaign, where his first campaign we didn't do much, but the next one was when everything started to happen. I'm not sure we've got as good a quality or as much quality and depth in this squad, but that's what we're looking for now for the future.
There's no Ant-Man. Ant-Man didn't feature at Belfast either. The long ball, and I think they've targeted Trey Hume. And Hakan's inside the penalty area, trying to find Pullen Palo Camara. It's a mess inside there for Northern Ireland, eventually chipped away by captain George Saville. But Northern Ireland, when they Finns attack down the left-hand side, they're having some joy up against Trey Hume. It's chipped forward by Alho. Camara on the penalty spot. He's trying to wriggle around three green-shirted defenders. Northern Ireland do well to get the ball away, and that was Jordan Thompson.
Yeah, they did well, Michael,
up.
You know, and Toll again in there made the first challenge, and they had to be very, very careful because the ball was bumping about there very, very quickly, and, you know, just the wrong foot in the wrong place, and you give away a penalty.
Ballar's the last man back, nods it down to his defensive partner, Paddy McNair. McNair flicks it, and he's doing well in the opening 18 minutes. Paddy McNair, we expect such high standards from him, and Lewis has got a little bit of space in front of him. He's not exactly belting down the byline. Gives it back to George Saville, wearing his customary number 6. Reminder of the substitutes, maybe some names relatively new to you. The goalkeeper Stephen McMullen, 18-year-old, plays for Fleetwood Town and looks southward as Northern Ireland makes some progress with Hume down the right-hand side. That was a good ball into the penalty area. Dion Charles has let it run. Here's McCausland getting to the byline, gets the ball back to Hume. Opportunity for Dion Charles with his back to goal. 3 defenders around him. He's trying to offload to Jordan Thompson. Here's McCausland again. This is interesting stuff from Northern Ireland. Thompson tried to give the ball back to McCausland, and it was lost.
Well, you don't mind that, Michael. They're trying to play a 1-2 within the 18-yard box, and it was cut out by the defenders. But you know, better from Northern Ireland when you get the 18-yard box. But I think the surface is making it difficult for them.
Outfield options: Conor McMenamin, Conor Washington, Jordan Jones.
Well, I think McMenamin will come on at some times, and I'm actually sort of surprised that he hasn't started.
Dale Taylor, Callum Marshall, new boy. Well, Michael Forbes was on the bench in the last game. It's all the way back to Conor Hazard. Terry Devlin, Cookstown lad, now with Portsmouth. Brodie Spencer.
Well, that figure that
experienced Josh McGuinness and Kieran Brown.
You said to me last night, Michael, about 31 players used in this group alone is an unbelievable stat, I think, you know.
Both Forbes and Devlin came through Cookstown United. So I always like to say something nice about Cookstown, one of my former homes. A bit like Robbie Keane, I can claim any sort of affiliations. My dad from Donnamana.
Yeah.
I can do Cookstown Dungannon. That's a poor ball by Jamal Lewis, and Hazard has to come out and kick that left-footed, first time, edge of his area. This is Isaac Price, wins the flicked header on. Already got one senior and international goal, Isaac Price, that 4-2 crazy game against Slovenia. Lewis and Price and Saville. Nice passing triangle. That's a good ball by Isaac Price to Jordan Thompson. There's room on this right-hand side for Trey Hume. We've played 20 minutes here in Helsinki. It's 0-0 between Finland and Northern Ireland. Ross McCausland making his debut, the Rangers winger man of the moment.
Well, we played very well down, you know, just at the halfway line in front of us, Michael, and we switched it quickly out to Trey Hume, but then everything slowed down again. You know, when you make that initial burst down that, you got to then press on down the right-hand side, and you know, Trey Hume slows the ball down again and lets them get back, and eventually we have to go back to our back four again.
Hume tried to find Ross McCausland, but the pass was just a shade behind him. So 20 minutes gone, only one, I don't know if you call it half chance, quarter chance.
Yeah, both sides have had one chance where the goalkeepers had to get down and collect it, but you know, there wasn't much power in either of the shots.
The moment of danger was Conor Hazard flapping at that corner. Nikolai Alho, the right back. Not much hair on that head. He'll be chilly this evening. There's the other big central defender, Robert Ivanov. Sure. Yeah, all the Finns wearing black gloves, outfield players. Ball into the penalty area, nodded away by Dan Ballard. It's the feet of Paddy McNair, strikes the leg of Lewis, and here comes McCausland popping up on the left-hand side. That was a good ball, nice touch. Pass to Lewis. There's room in front of Isaac Price, slots the ball down that right-hand side for Dion Charles. Charles brings the defender with him, and he's got support from Trey Hume. This is good by Northern Ireland. Hume looks up, 3 in the penalty area, waiting for the cross. Isaac Price with his back to goal. He's going to chip and shoot, and he doesn't get any power on it or accuracy. And it's going to fall for Saville, who volleys it wide. Yeah, it was a good piece of play from right outside their 18-yard box. You know, they swept up the field. Good cross into the box. Unfortunately, it was just a little bit behind Price, and he couldn't get any power on the shot, but probably the best move that Northern Ireland have had so far. Things are picking up here, John.
Well, I tell you, McCausland has shown some lovely touches. Especially when the play's been closed down and there's a lot of white shirts around him. He's able to find that pass, play 1-2, and been able to switch it from one side of the field to the other. It's when we get to the other side of the field that we tend to slow up again.
First Rangers start against Livingston last weekend. That's not a good ball. Well cut out by Owen Toll, but McCausland's touch has found Saville. Little back flick for Jordan Thompson. Northern Ireland, dare I say it, increasing in confidence.
Yeah.
As this first half goes on at the Olympic Stadium in Helsinki. That's the one where there's a big tower outside. It's been refurbed. A lot of the seating and roofs and interiors have been refurbed. It was a 4-year refurbishment up to 2020. And it's a very nice historic stadium. That was a tough challenge on Paddy McNair. Gets to his feet now. Northern Ireland left hand side inside his own half. Pumped forward by Jordan Thompson. Dion Charles been pushed over. That'll be a free kick.
Charles did well. He was been surrounded there by two white shirts, nobody green supporting him, and he did well. Held up the ball, and as always now, as soon as they feel anybody touching him in the back, they go over and we get a free kick just inside our own half here.
So Conor Hazard winning his 6th cap. Former HJK goalkeeper on loan. 39 games he played.
Yeah, they're growing into the game a little bit, Michael. It's just lovely them up the pace ever so slightly.
Hazard nearly comes to the halfway line to take this free kick. There's a knot of Northern Ireland players on the far side there, right. Let's see how Hazard's going to deliver this. Left-footed, all in blue with white boots. He's looking for that knot of players in the corner of the penalty area. The header's been won, and the shot doesn't come in. And that was again Dion Charles working hard to try and get his foot on it, but it's bouncing into the hands of Radetzky.
I'm not sure whether it was McNair or Ballard or even Toll that gets the header in, but Dion Charles just cannot get on the end of it.
24 minutes played, 0-0. Finland against Northern Ireland. John O'Neill, 2 World Cups, 1 goal against Finland, 1984. The other one scored at the Sydney Cricket Ground.
Would you believe that? Yeah.
The pitch was rectangular, was it? Puyan Palo gets it forward, looking for Cameron to make the run, but a good defensive header back into the hands of goalkeeper from Trey Hume.
It's the first time I've ever been on a cricket pitch, and it was really strange because where the actual wicket was, it was bone hard, Michael, and you were sliding as if it was on ice.
No, there's no video evidence of this goal. Was it a 35-yard pile driver?
No, I'll tell you, it was across to the back post, and Jerry Armstrong went up to head it, and he was actually 2 yards over the touchline when he knocked it back to me again. Another one from 2 yards out.
They didn't have VAR in 1980.
No, they didn't. Thank God.
And for years, it was down as a Martin O'Neill goal.
Yeah, they were that surprised. They were going, he couldn't have scored, so they gave it to Martin, and God rest him, it was Malcolm Brody who sorted it out for me.
2 international goals for John O'Neill. 0-0 here. Northern Ireland, remember, have lost 5 of these qualifying matches by 1-0. And Shea Charles is suspended, but should be back for Monday evening, home against Denmark. A possibility, I think, that Paul Smith might be able to be fit for that one. But of course, Northern Ireland missing so many long-term injured as well. Obviously, Davis and Dallas and Corey Evans and Shane Ferguson.
And the thing we were saying about looking to the future, Michael, you got to ask yourself, I think it's a realistic question to ask, of those players that are out injured, how many of them are going to come back and be regular in the side? So I'm sure Michael...
Conor Bradley, the obvious one, I suppose.
Exactly, yeah. But I'm sure Michael's got that in the back of his head as well. So, this will give him a chance to see what we have in regards going forward.
Really miss Bradley.
They do, yeah.
Big favourite with the fans as well.
Yeah.
And Saville, he's working. He's always worked very hard, George Saville. My goodness, he's got stuck in. Occasionally, he's been the man most likely to get booked.
Yeah.
Nobody doubts his commitment to the cause.
No, we always said, that, and we've never really got into the position where if you can get a goal up or whatnot, he's the type of player that'll get in there and you'll be able to hold on to it because he works so hard. He's been criticised about not scoring and this, that, and the other, but there's players who are goal scorers and there are players, midfield players in particular, who are defensive.
There's a foul on Jamal Lewis.
And Saville is one of those.
Enjoyed hearing Michael O'Neill, the manager, describe George Saville as very grumpy.
Yeah,
that's why he's a man after my own heart. Man, a few words, but he spoke very well at the press conference, the news conference yesterday.
And he was delighted the fact that it was his 50th cap, and obviously because he was made captain.
Many congratulations to him. And wouldn't it be nice if he captained a victory?
Well, and maybe a goal.
First ever competitive victory in Finland, long clearance, and maybe the winning goal. And we were speculating as we were having our meatballs before kick-off, if Northern Ireland get a penalty,
Yeah, well,
the captain could grab the ball and put it in the spot and take it himself.
Well, I'll tell you, he'll be a brave man.
Well, I suppose Paddy McNair would be the other obvious
one.
candidate,
Yeah.
you think?
I don't know. Maybe the likes of Price or what. I don't know. He took. I think it was a beautiful corner kick early on, a lovely strike of their ball.
Did score a great goal last weekend, George Saville, for Millwall against Sheffield Wednesday in a convincing victory. You're not missing much because not much is happening here, but Finland are trying to up the ante, and that's well intercepted on the Northern Ireland left by Jamal Lewis. Not a great pass though.
I mean that's annoying, Michael, because they've given it away to us in a
decent
position, and he's trying to find a simple ball into Dion Charles, and he overhits it in the centre half. Clears.
Let's hope Elchin Massiev is not involved too much over the next hour. He's the VAR official, and it's with Isaac Price wearing 14 infield. That's a poor pass.
That's a poor pass.
It's been a typical curate's egg of a performance so far in the opening 27 minutes, but the ball's been won back for Ross McCausland, and Ross McCausland has been outnumbered and outpowered. He's pulling the jersey there of number 16, Matthew Peltola.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those ones. He's taking a little bit too much time on it. You don't get that time, and it was basically just brushed aside. Fullback was very strong with him.
Jari Uronen is one of the substitutes, very experienced, played in the 2012 game. It was a 1-1 draw here just after Northern Ireland qualified for the Euros in 2016. Craig Cathcart got the goal. It was a sort of nothing game because all the rejoicing was that Northern Ireland were going to the Euros. Of course, they qualified in top spot. Finland on this right-hand side of theirs, they're showing a little bit too much of that, but Jordan Thompson was nutmegged by Jensen.
Yeah, there's not a lot of
very scrappy.
I was just going to say, Michael, there's not a lot of quality on the field at the minute from either side.
Northern Ireland took a terrible beating here, I think in 1999, 4-1. And they did win that friendly international by 2-1 back in 2006 when Healy and Lafferty were the goal scorers. It's the 11th meeting, and there's a nice symmetry in that Northern Ireland have won 4, drawn 2 and lost 4. And here's a little bit of room on the right hand side for Alho, the right back, into Puyan Palo, but Ballard's done very well looking after the big fella.
Central defensively, they're fine. It's just when we get to the other third of the field, I think we're just a little bit casual, and the quality hasn't been great.
McNair's been forced to give the ball back to Conor Hazard. He hits it first time left-footed, curls it into the freezing night sky of Helsinki. Firm header won by Tenho. And another good challenge. Ballard's enjoying this tussle with Puyan Palo.
Yeah, it's an old-fashioned centre-forward, centre-half tussle. He's a big lad, isn't he? The number 20.
Hair.
Yeah.
And that was an illegal challenge by Joel Puyan Palo, whose goal beat Denmark back in Euro 2020.
It's not warm in here, Mike. I got to take my hat off now.
Goodness me. Hats off. It's John O'Neill. There must be some of the few people in this stadium watching the match are happy to take some clothes off this evening.
This is the best commentary box we've ever been in.
Fantastic. It is. It's like being Till N. Charlie's on the Lancaster Bomber. So we look over the pitch here. I wouldn't want to lean forward against that angled glass in front of us. Free kick by Conor Hazard has been won by Finland. They're trying to spread it out to this right-hand side. We've played half an hour. It's 0-0 between Finland and Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland looking for their first victory over a country other than San Marino in Group H. And they conclude matters at the National Stadium, Windsor Park, 7:45 Monday evening. Hear that on BBC Sounds, BBC Radio Ulster. Their TV highlights tonight.
I mean, it really is a game, Michael, that there's nothing at stake, and you can see it. The players just don't have that extra zip about them.
Finland inside the Northern Irish half. It's back with Robert Ivanov. Tenho crosses the halfway line inside the centre circle. Camera on the left. Finland all in white with that blue cross. And Hume is up against his man. Camera's continued his run. Danger now. Camera gets the cross in. That's a very, very important interception there inside the Northern Ireland penalty area by Owen Toll.
It was a good block because McCausland went to sleep a little bit, and Kamara played off and got the cross in, but Toll there just on the angle of the 6-yard box get it away.
He's a big rangy lad, Owen Toll.
Yeah.
Dark hair. Finland now applying a little bit more pressure. Remember, they can't qualify from this qualifying group, but they have got the option of a Nations League playoff. It's very convoluted, the qualifying process these days. McCausland in tackling, as was
Hume on the
far side. It's broken for Finland inside the centre circle. And they've, a big defender nearly made a mess of that, and it was nearly picked up by Isaac Price. It was all the way back by the man in orange, Lucas Hradecki. He's inside his D looking at the options.
I sometimes feel sorry for spectators, that come to match like this. They deserve more. They've paid good money to come out on a cold night like this. And it's not that, the players aren't trying. It's just that there's not enough goalmouth incidents for them.
Some of them clutching their glow sticks. There was a lot of flags being waved earlier on, but not much to get excited about. Long ball forward. A chance, a shoulder charge, surely a foul as the shot comes in from the big defender. Ivanov had broken through the middle, and that'll be a free kick inside the Northern Ireland penalty area. Yeah,
McNair followed him the whole way back into the 18-yard box, just gets in front of him, and it's going back to Hazard, and Ivanov just leans into the back of him, and the referee gives a free kick. It's the first time, Michael, we've ever been to a game and they're handing out hand warmers outside. It's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah. Free of charge as well. Oh, there's a car. Is that Volkswagen behind the car on the running track? And I think away to our left on the running track was the infamous water jump where a colleague fell in twice. 2006.
Well, they've got a big board over it at the minute.
I still think if were he here, he could still fall into it, even though it's covered. George Saville on the halfway line. The ball's broken for Camera. It's deflected in the path of Puan Palo. Puan Palo tries to flick it towards his attacking colleague on the left hand side. Again, it's very scrappy stuff.
Yeah, but again, Ballard has to deal with it, and he did do. It's breaking, like a pinball sometimes, and sometimes those are the ones that you struggle to defend, and Ballard did really well.
Quick reminder, it's -6, -7 out there outside our little glass carbuncle. And they're building down the left-hand side, Finland. Trey Hume's got a good tackle in on the far side. Dispossessed Hawkins.
And not only did he dispossess him, then he's actually, tried to come away, and he's got the free kick. Good play by Hume. Slow to get up, though.
He's taking a tumble. The plastic grass on that far side goes right up to the edge of the playing surface, so he fell on the plastic grass. I can't imagine it's got under soil heating on it, but pitch has played well so far.
It has, yeah. It's just a little bit bumpy.
The Azerbaijani referee not happy from where Conor Hazard's taking the free kick, as if it really matters.
He's took it about a yard to his right, and it's like 10 yards inside our half, so what's the problem?
So Ballard is forward looking for this long free kick from the goalkeeper. Owen Toll is forward as well. There's been a bit of barging on Dion Charles, who's asking the referee's assistant, did you not see that? I was shoved, and the referee did see it, and he's speaking to Peltola. And eventually, he's speaking to Dion Charles. He's referee sort of implying it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
No, Hazard has moved the ball.
It again, has he?
Yeah.
Ooh, that was sneaky. Spotted by the fans in the stand, the far side. Not many empty seats, there's a few.
I'm surprised.
Very healthy crowd.
When they told us 28,000, I thought, we will be lucky there, but I think they're right.
That's a fair estimate.
Yeah.
On a bitterly freezing night. 35 minutes gone. Hazard with a long free kick, looking for Owen Toll. Toll is up jumping, comes off Ballard, volleyed by Dion Charles. Again. Bounces into the hands of Hradecki.
That's a couple of times, we've won headers on the 18-yard box, and it's fallen to Dion Charles. He just hasn't made the correct contact with the ball. In
an ideal world, he would spin like David Platt at World Cup in 90 and hook it into the top corner.
That's exactly what it looked like, wasn't it? You're just waiting for him, comes on to Charles' right foot, but he just doesn't make enough contact on it, and it's easy for the goalkeeper again.
Senator, you're no David Platt. Long ball forward for Puan Palo. Chance now, he's going to hit this left edge of the area, squares it. That was the wrong option. Should have taken the shot.
He was off anyway.
Ball was cleared. He was offside anyway. Right enough.
It's strange, as soon as the ball's played, you can see he's a mile offside, but as always, they let it play out and then give the
seeing that volley again from Dion Charles. He connected with it, but no power. And
it's almost as if it's hit him on the ankle, instead of on the foot.
That was a potential David Platt moment, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Only happens once a lifetime. Dion Charles having a word with Isaac Price. 8 minutes left of normal time in this first half. It's 0-0. Perhaps a scoreline you might have predicted considering the relative form of these two countries, considering the makeshift nature of the Northern Ireland side.
Yeah, I think the betting, we're saying that if you're going to have a bet, you bet that Finland are going to win to 0, which I presume means that they don't think Northern Ireland's going to score.
Ball's been won back by McCausland on the right-hand side. He's wriggling free. He's done very well. Slots it through. Doesn't quite find Dion Charles. Northern Ireland just need one of these moments to work in their favour, and that's a tackle well put in by Hume on the far side for a Finland throw-in.
Well, so far I think McCausland can be happy with his debut. He's shown it, especially in tight circumstances. He's got quick feet. He sees the pass.
Kazakhstan earlier on 3-1 winners against San Marino. San Marino's only their second goal. Do you remember they got the goal against Denmark last time out? Scored again tonight. Nearly scored against Northern Ireland back in the spring.
Well, I think if you look at our campaign so far, you got to say, okay, we've been dogged by injuries, but the other thing is, Michael, is that we just cannot see where goals are coming from.
And we seem to, at an ever-changing cast, we've had a sort of almost an ever-changing tactical approach, and it's been maddening, and occasionally you do feel sympathy. We haven't had the rub of the green.
No, we haven't.
Conceded some bad goals.
No, that's right.
And if you're going to lose 1-0,
yeah, it is frustrating. But at the end of the day, the other sides, are getting that one goal, which we just can't find. But if you look at the likes of Slovenia in particular, probably Denmark as well, the quality that they have up front, we just can't match at the minute.
And Finland can afford to put, a fading Teemu Pukki on the bench. Long ball forward again. They're having some joy with these long balls. Hawkins on the left-hand side. Hume hugging him tightly. They're able to work the ball back to Peltola. And this is a Karanen. Ivanov. They're slightly better in possession than Northern Ireland. They're better at retaining the ball.
Yeah, but I think all the teams that come from the continent are better than us when it comes to that. And that's why I think it favours them, because we don't seem to be able to, get up ahead of steam and put them under continuous pressure.
Here's Ivanov chugging forward. Opportunity for Hawkins. Squares it. A side-footed ball. It's going to break again. Is that a penalty? Isaac Price has brought down Alho, and that is a penalty in the 40th minute for Finland.
Yeah, we went to sleep there. I'm not sure who it was let the attacker run off him, and then after that we just couldn't recover. It was crossed just on the 18-yard box. First person, I think it was Kamara, tried to make a shot and missed it. And
breaking down the left-hand side, it was squared. The shot came in, it was blocked. And then Isaac Price definitely caught.
He caught Aldo as he's going into the box.
Alho. I don't think there was any doubt there was a penalty.
No, that's a clear penalty.
And it looks as though it's going to be big Puyen Palo.
I think on the build-up, again, I would like to see it again, but I think it might have been...
Are they having another look at it? I think they are.
They may look at it, but this is a penalty. I'd be very surprised if they change this.
Penalty check is coming up on our screen. We're not seeing a replay of the incident. We did see one wide-angle shot of it.
I think it was told it just got the wrong side of the attacker, and after that we just couldn't recover.
I think Northern Ireland are fairly resigned to their fate in terms of it being a penalty. I don't think there's any great
I'm surprised
hope or
they're
optimism
checking this, because it looked as if, they may be checking did he get a touch on the ball, but I don't think he did.
So this is the 41st minute. This is going to add a little bit of stoppage time, but not a huge amount. Referee Akhayev has agreed that it is going to be a penalty. It's been placed on the spot by Yoel Puyen Palo. He's looking for his 15th international goal. He's up against the towering presence of Conor Hazard of Plymouth Argyle. So Puyen Palo's had time to think about this. Is he going to replace the ball on the spot with a little touch of nerves, or am I being overly optimistic in terms of viewing it from a visiting side? Here goes Puyen Palo. Penalty. 4 minutes left in the first half in Helsinki. Puyen Palo, right-footed against Hazard. Bottom corner into the net, and Finland lead by a goal to 0. And the men in white celebrate with the fans behind the goal away to our right. And Northern Ireland, not for the first time in this campaign, are a goal down.
Yeah, that's probably the best strike of the whole 44 minutes. A good penalty, puts it into the corner. even if Hazard goes the right way, he's not going to save that. But again, I think it will be disappointed with the goal. I think the defenders were caught ever so slightly and never recovered from it, and it was maybe a rash challenge from Price, but it was definitely a penalty.
The Groundhog Day feeling is enveloping us again, John.
Yeah, we just can't put the ball in the other end and the net.
All the good work and all the effort and all the individual challenges and blocks and tackles won.
And you once you get a goal, Michael, the whole game changes. As defenders, you think, right, we've got something to hold on to now, and once you go one down and you haven't been scoring, you think, how are we going to call this back?
I don't know why they looked at that. It was obviously a penalty on first glance. It was easy to give. It's back with Conor Hazard, and suddenly there's an extra spring in the step of the men in white. And Northern Ireland 1-0 down here, and 2.5 minutes of normal time left in the first half. The Green and White Army, as I lean out and look away to our right, in that corner, they're very quiet. Yeah,
we said it again last night, Michael. How are we going to react if we go 1-0 down, which we have done so many times in this group?
Picking the teeth coming just before half time. Finland will just play the clock down, and Michael O'Neill will try and reinvigorate us.
I suppose
team at half time, they put the ball out of play on the far side. Cameras put it out of play, and that'll be a Northern Ireland throw in.
Well, I think from Michael O'Neill's point of view, you got to think, does the result really matter if we finish up 1-0 again? Certainly we don't want to be sort of
you don't want effectively to end up nil on no points.
No, I know that, but at the end of the day, Michael, the amount of injuries that he's had, like Joel sent me a text today, and he's put a team out which we could have maybe started this game, and not one of them is available, of players who have played a lot of experience, have a lot of caps. So Michael's got to be looking now at McCausland's had a good game, Price hasn't done too bad.
Forward by Saville, Dion Charles, he was trying to work the ball out to Lewis, who was free on that left hand side. It's lovely and warm, almost too warm inside the commentary box. Dion Charles has been bundled to the floor halfway inside the Finland half. Maybe there's a sting in the tail here for the home team from the visitors.
Well, we know one thing, Northern Ireland are not going to give up. As I say, will they have the quality to claw this back or not, I don't know, but they will certainly have a go.
It's a very centrally positioned free kick, sort of halfway inside the Finland half, right in the middle of the pitch. George Saville, captain for the night, standing over it, and he's marching Daniel Hawkins.
That's a long 10 yards there,
isn't it?
That is a long way off. That's certainly more than 10 yards.
So I think it's Saville and Thompson standing over it. We're into the 45th minute. Northern Ireland are 1 down. This would be a great moment to score. Thompson gives the signal, chips it forward left-footed to the back post, header down and into the hands of the goalkeeper. And the flag was up anyway.
Yeah,
it was Ballard winning the header.
It was a beautiful header. It was a beautiful, chip over to Ballard. But I just think we were just far too slow to react to it. I mean, me and you could see up here, Michael, that's where it was coming. It was coming into the 6-yard box, and we stood and watched it. It
wasn't a clean take by Radetzky, but there was nobody really following up.
No.
And we've played the 45 minutes. The fourth official in his black coat will indicate 1 additional minute.
No idea what that's for.
No,
because the game hasn't stopped.
Probably the VAR decision.
Oh, possibly, maybe.
Or the recheck of the penalty decision. Clearance over the halfway line by Radetzky. Northern Ireland give possession away to Schuller on that left-hand side. Daniel Hawkins keeps the ball alive, and all Finland have to do is pass it about for the next 40 seconds, and they'll go into the warmth of the dressing room at the Olympic Stadium. 1-0 up against Northern Ireland. Trey Hume will control that just outside his penalty area. He'll find Ross McCausland, blonde-headed, wearing 8, chips a hopeful ball forward, but neither Price nor Charles was there. Long ball forward for Hawkins to try and get in the end of. Hawkins is a spinning ball and a diving take eventually by Conor Hazard.
Yeah, again, it was one of those ones that was spinning all over the place.
They do look more dangerous in the final third, John.
They do. They definitely are. Without a doubt, they are more dangerous.
Second goal here, and that'll be
it'll be difficult to
get back into the game. And there's going to be a long blast of the whistle right on cue from the referee from Azerbaijan, who awarded that penalty a couple of minutes before half time. No doubt at all that it was a spot kick for a clumsy challenge by Isaac Price on right back Nikolai Alho. They did have a check. It was always going to be a penalty. It was tucked away to the bottom left-hand corner by Joel Poyenpalo. So it's a Joel causing trouble for Northern Ireland here in Helsinki. They're a goal down. What are they going to do in the second half, John, to try and pull this back and get a point? Or, my goodness me, in our wildest dream, possibly three.
You know, it's actually been a better game than I thought it was going to be fair. And both teams are trying, but again, we make one mistake at the back and we get punished for it. We've had half chances on the other end, which we're not making connections with and not troubling the goalkeeper. I'd like to see us play more direct. I'd like to see us up the pace a little bit and try and put their back four under pressure. But I've been saying that the whole way through this campaign. And I think we need to be able to get to a stage where we can play at a pace and put teams under pressure. But the modern game I don't think the modern game where it's this slow build up from the back, I don't think it suits us. And in the past, when we've gone down and we've gone behind and we've changed it, gone 4-4-2 and tried to play the ball quicker and get to the front man, we've had more joy. Whether they will change it or not, I just don't know, Michael. I really don't know.
Lots of spectators, I think, making use of the facilities or just getting out of the cold. Don't know if it's going to be any warmer around the concourse here, but Northern Ireland have 45 minutes in which to try and salvage something from this game in Helsinki. At half-time at the Olympic Stadium, freezing cold Olympic Stadium, it's Finland 1, Northern Ireland 0.
John, Michael, thank you very much. Joel causing trouble, hey? No change there. It's coming up to 10-6. We'll get the halftime thoughts of Warren Feeney and Michael O'Connor in a moment or two. But before that, let's get you the latest BBC News.
BBC News NI on Radio Ulster and on BBC Sounds.
And with the news, I'm Bob Huggins. Good evening. A man found guilty of murdering the school teacher Aisling Murphy has been sentenced to life in prison. The 23-year-old was attacked and repeatedly stabbed in the neck while jogging in Tullamore in County Offaly in January 2022. 33-year-old Josef Puska from Linley Grove in Muckla was found guilty last week. Outside court, Chief Superintendent Tony Lonergan said the help from local people had been crucial in bringing Mr Puska to justice.
A compassionate, kind, resilient and generous community. They were of invaluable assistance to An Garda Síochána throughout this investigation, providing us in particular with access to CCTV, which was instrumental in building the case against Mr Puska and to achieving a successful prosecution.
Israel has agreed to allow 2 fuel lorries into the Gaza Strip each day after a lack of diesel caused aid deliveries to be halted. An Israeli official said the fuel would be tracked to make sure it didn't reach Hamas. The BBC's correspondent in Jerusalem, Nick Beek, has been following developments.
This decision from the Israeli War Cabinet was made after conversations with and pressure from the Americans. And the announcement from the Israeli War Cabinet today is that every day 2 trucks of fuel will be allowed into Gaza. We're told that will be about 60,000 litres. Previously, the United Nations have said they need about 160,000 litres to fulfil all their duties to power their operations.
The Victims Commissioner Ian Jeffers is stepping down to take up a new position with the peace-building charity Cooperation Ireland. He had 2.5 years left on his 4-year term. It's unclear how a replacement will be appointed in the absence of an executive. Mr Jeffers says the new role will allow him to make the biggest impact.
I think any commission role has certain constraints. You got to operate, understand how commissions operate. You're there to advise rather than to do. If you look at Cooperation Ireland, it's very much there to do. So I think there's a little bit more flexibility and difference. But it still remains a massive privilege in the commission to be able to advocate for victims and survivors. And I think we've made tremendous progress on that.
Now, with the weather, here's Barra.
It'll become wet and windy for everyone this evening and overnight as rain pushes eastwards. Some of the rain will be heavy and persistent and could cause some disruption. A weather warning has been issued for the rain for South County Down through the early hours of tomorrow morning. Otherwise, once that rain clears, tomorrow will be a windy day at times with some blustery passing scattered showers. Some spells of sunshine in between with temperatures around 13 or 14 degrees.
BBC News.
Join us for another big night of BBC Children in Need.
An absolute banger of a show tonight.
The MasterChef kitchen opens its doors to puppets.
Would you like some basil? Bum, bum.
Iconic TV characters race across Yorkshire.
Are you sure it's this way?
We've been every other way, Ian. It's got to be this way.
There's an exclusive one-off Doctor Who sketch. Sensational Strictly Dancing. Graham Norton's Red Chair. And so much more. Children in Need, tonight at 7 on BBC iPlayer.
This is Sports Sound International Football. Listen live on digital, online or on BBC Sounds.
So welcome back. Northern Ireland trailing by 1-0 in Helsinki, a penalty just before half-time separating the sides. We're here with you on BBC Radio Ulster and BBC Radio Foyle until 7:15, and then Stephen McCauley will take over. Warren Feeney and Michael O'Connor alongside me. We're in the Stephen Nolan studio. We're in the studio of the big show for the big game. But so far, Warren, it's another big disappointment. And that one moment in the match, it kind of came probably at the end of Finland's best move of the game, would we say?
I think so. We were just saying it's a poor game, but Northern Ireland were comfortable. I think in international football you need that quality up top, what John said. But John summed it up really for me. I think we need to be more direct. The best ball of the game obviously led to the goal was the ball in behind, but I'd like to see it again regarding our defending, because if it's Toll or Hume, you can't let that ball in between.
You're talking about the shape here, so you're talking about when the ball goes to the Finnish player, the outside left player for Finland. You're saying the decision has to be made as to whether it's the right-sided centre-back or Northern Ireland's right wing-back who should be picking that player up.
100%, and you're always taught as a defender to let them go wide and defend the box, defend the cross, but the ball got in behind us too easy. Apart from that, there's been nothing in the game. I thought we've been comfortable, but again, as we pointed out, we're coming in on the back end of a 1-0 at half-time.
In the first 20 minutes or so, Michael, there were promising signs, a couple of good moves. McCausland early on won the ball back, got the ball into Price. He had a shot at the keeper, and there was some encouragement, but it's that cutting edge, isn't it, in and around the penalty area where you can see from that first half why this is a campaign where Northern Ireland have struggled for goals.
Yeah, that's just the difference. It's if you have like a David Healy, Kyle Lafferty, Warren Feeney in your team, they take them chances.
Well, the first two definitely.
He's looking up me. I was had to say his name. But no, if you look back the first 45 minutes, I think both teams were poor. The first 30 minutes, I think the first bit of good play led to the goal. But Northern Ireland have had probably the better chances, more half chances. But yeah, it's not been a great standard. Another thing as well, they're dropping too deep. I think Northern Ireland at times is like a low block, and they can't get out at times because there's no one to get up to. So it'll be interesting to see if he brings Conor McManaman on or Dale Taylor, Colm Marshall. It gives one of them boys a chance to get up the pitch.
And there's no doubts about the penalty?
No doubts whatsoever. I'm just looking there now. I think it's Ballard's got caught out. He's went with the player and he's run off him, but if that happens, Hume has to tuck in and cover for him, and he hasn't, and that's went straight through us. But there's no doubts about the penalty. He's dangled the leg. The boy's clever. He's got there first, and in the box, whatever his striker would do would go down.
How do you change it, Warren? I mean, John's talking about what we do. I mean, it's not as if you're looking at the bench and you're seeing loads of firepower, but you do have someone in Josh McGuinness who, to be fair to him, has scored nearly all of his goals as a substitute in games. Generally, he comes off the bench and makes a bit of a difference. Do you give him a rattle in the second half?
100%. As John said, and being when I was in Bulgaria myself, all these teams want to play football. They don't like people running in behind, but there's no right, there's no wrong way to win a football game. And I think Northern Ireland, he touched on, definitely have to be direct. You look at the victories, and Michael will tell you, we've had against some of the teams. Teams want to sit. They want you to play in front of them. It's the worst for defenders whenever balls are, and you've got a big striker like Josh going and running across people, picking up second balls. I think us Nat sets a tempo, and I think Michael maybe should be looking at that there and putting them under pressure, because let's be honest, they're not a good side. I know that the touchdown they can get through the playoff, but they're not a good side, and I think something needs to change.
Michael, do you give Marshall a rattle? I mean, he thought he got that goal in Denmark, didn't we? People have their views, whatever they may be, on under 23 football, but he's scoring goals. Is a goal scorer a goal scorer, no matter what level he's playing at?
That's the nail on the head there, Joe. You says he's playing games under 23 level, but he knows what the net is. He's scoring goals. I've seen his stats there. He scored like 11 in the last 13 goals or something under 23 level. It's still a decent level, and he's been on the bench for West Ham this year in the cup games. So David Moyes must think he's got a chance. Well, I just think we need to try and get two up top. Price is starting as a two, but he's dropping really deep. The ball's up to Dion Charge. There's no one up there to support him. Say Josh Be Perfect. They're on the channels to get us up the pitch.
You're with us, Michael. It's a good chance to chat about the week as well that you're having. You're trying to help with some of the stars of the future. It's that transition. It's that time for the transition from player kind of to coach.
Kind of. No, that's me.
Definitely. We're not going to see cameo 10 minutes some week for Newry or something, are we?
You never know. I'm still
really stuck.
I'm still down to play, but they're really stuck. I'll have to put the boots back on. But no, going back to the under 15s. So it's a 3-game development tournament, UEFA. The first 2 games won. Beat Faroes 9-1 on Monday, and then we beat Latvia 1-0 on Wednesday. So we've got Luxembourg tomorrow, 12 o'clock kickoff. So winner takes all in that game. They won the first 2. But it's good for the boys to be exposed to that level. When they're playing week in, week out for the clubs over here, you go and play against the national footballers at that level above. So they're making a lot of mistakes, but the best way to learn is make mistakes in these type of games.
Yeah. So you're involved there. You're also on the coaching staff at Newry. What's the transition been like from player to coach? Did you just reach a point in your mind where you thought, it's the time's right now?
Yeah, no, I'd done my B licence, was 27, 28, so I always wanted to go into the coaching side. So I got the license done last year, and thankful enough that Newry gave me the chance to go and be the sort of player assistant manager. I've really enjoyed it. Obviously, the results haven't gone our way since start of the season. We're actually doing okay. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's frustrating sometimes, been on the side, but it's something I'm really looking forward to.
Is that the hardest thing, where you can't have a direct influence on the game? You can only influence someone else who's playing in the game.
Yeah, definitely. It's sort of why I sort of put myself down to play as well. So at times I can be on the pitch and telling players what to do, but on the side they just look at you, and it's definitely harder in that way.
You're not at the old Gary Hamilton routine of naming yourself as a sub so you can go and pass on information when you're pretending to do warm-ups, are you?
No, I'll not be doing that. I won't be playing until I'm 40. I think Gaz played till he's 40. Definitely won't be doing that. But no, it's different, but I'm enjoying it.
Right. So tomorrow it's what, Dungannon for Newry, is it?
Yeah, it's a big one for us. Even this early in the season, it's a big 6-pointer, as people would call it. I've got Dungannon away. So both of us around the bottom 3. So I think whoever wins that sort of kicks up a bit.
Just on that, will you be with Northern Ireland? You will with Newry tomorrow? How's that work?
I'm doing both, So 12 o'clock kick-off. Should be done by 1:45, and then shoot over.
So the packed lunches will be ready in the car, and the expense sheets will be ready.
Yeah, they'll be ready. So it's a busy day tomorrow. So hopefully I get 2 wins tomorrow. Beat Luxembourg and then beat Dungannon.
I know a lot was made of the fact that you and David obviously were going head to head in the big 2 matches. But you must take a lot of pleasure in seeing the likes of Michael and other lads that you played with, Warren, getting involved in Big Gareth McCauley obviously this week as well with the 19s, because they were special days, and I was lucky enough to be a part of that for 20 years doing away matches. You could see that the bond among all of you lads and the good times that you had, and it's easy then to lose touch with lots of people, but the fact that you're all coming across each other in the coaching scene now, you must take a lot of pleasure in that, do you?
100%. The big thing I've always said, and John will probably touch on this, being in change rooms and yourself being around there, is the team spirit we had. We were all mates. There was no bad eggs in them games, and it's great to see. Look, I was reading something the other day, and you look at the criticism Jimmy came in for, Magilton. He's another. Listen, you get top managers over here want to make this league better, but you know, and some of the criticism that comes in, and look, I've got it, but we're big enough to take it. It's football, but it's great to see, as I say, Michael. You know, I looked at Michael. We had a conversation in the summer. He knows the game, which is the big thing for me. And that's no disrespect to people coming up, but I'm a big believer in people playing football, being in and around change rooms, and it's great to see. You know, he's played at the highest level for his country. I'm encouraging now him again at our club to go and do the same. And you know what? It makes players still better players who are still playing. Big Gareth in with the 19s. And Michael, I'll tell you, it's, you know, as you're a manager and a coach, you know, you're worrying about 20, 30 people. You're not worrying about yourself as a player. You used to go in, and it's great to see them do well.
It's like we 5 or 6 side team going to ex-internationals. There's you two are involved, George McCartney and David Healy, Magilton.
It'll be a stiff 5 a side. You can't move nowadays.
Magilton might be good for 2 or 3 minutes. You know. He'll want to manage the team. They're back out. See Northern Ireland fans wearing all sorts of hats and gloves and trying to keep themselves warm. Not that our commentary duo care. They've got themselves in a nice little cubby hole, wardrobe with a heater and everything. John was taking his hat off during the first half. It's so warm in Helsinki. John O'Neill and Michael McNamee can guide us through the second half.
That's not all he's taken off, but thankfully we're on radio here. No changes at half time. Same 22 players that started the match. Freezing cold Helsinki. I think it was -6, -7 the last time we looked at a temperature gauge. But Finland playing from right to left, all in white with that blue cross. They've kicked the ball out of play on the far side. The throw will be taken by Jamal Lewis. Northern Ireland have Conor Hazard in goal. Wing backs of Trey Hume and Jamal Lewis. Back three of Owen Toole, Paddy McNair and Dan Ballard. Then it's Ross McCausland on the right, George Saville in the middle, the captain, Jordan Thompson, Isaac Price behind Dion Charles. And Finland have Radetsky in goal, back four of Alho, who won that penalty, Tenho, Ivanov and Peltola. Then Kamara, Schuller and Kairinen. Fredrik Jensen and Daniel Hawkins wide in attack, with the goal scorer from the penalty spot, Joel Pulanpalo, wearing number 20, and he scored his 15th international goal. And here's Isaac Price looking to make an impact down that left-hand side, but the ball is won back by Fredrik Jensen. And the two goalkeepers away to our left, all in blue, is Hazard and all in orange. Away to our right is Lukas Radetsky. Remember, there's one of those traditional red running tracks around the pitch here at the Olympic Stadium, as Finland clear the ball up towards Kamara. It was well won by Owen Toole, who I think got caught out for that. John had a number of looks at the replays of the penalty decision. No doubt that it was a foul challenge by Isaac Price, but I think Toole was maybe one of the men caught out as the ball came in from the
I think
left.
he just got the wrong side of the attacker, and he got in between, I think it was Toole and Hume. And after that we just couldn't recover. We didn't have time to recover.
Here's Daniel Ballard charging forward, and here is Owen Toole out to Trey Hume on the right hand side, infield to the skipper winning his 50th cap, George Saville. Infield to Hume, swings it out to the left hand side, Jamal Lewis, Northern Ireland all in green, attacking from left to right. Remember, they've already lost 5 qualifying matches in this campaign by a goal to nil. They get it out to that left hand side, and it's back.
They still won't cross the ball into the box.
Jordan Thompson. Poked back by Isaac Price. Chipped forward by McNair, looking for McCausland, make the run forward, but one of the big centre backs, Ivanov, who wins the ball back. It's back to Radetsky, clears right footed. Curling in the cold winter sky here in Helsinki. Kamara being held by Jordan Thompson. They're able to sweep the ball back across this left hand side, past the Azerbaijani referee, who's in a bright luminous yellow. This is a good run. That's a terrific run by Hawkins. Hawkins gets the ball back, a real chance for him, and he hits it into the net, off the post. And in the 3rd minute of the second half, Finland have doubled their lead. He started the move, he finished the move, and is Daniel Hawkins with the second goal. And that's it for Northern Ireland. Finland 2, Northern Ireland 0. Tidy finish, good build-up play.
Yeah, it was poor play by us defensively down the right-hand side. Again, we got caught. You know, the concentration's not there. We've just kicked off and we haven't even got into the game. Once he gets free, Conor Hazard's got to look at this, Michael. I mean, this has gone in off the post, almost beside his right hand. But it was poor defending again. Again, it's down in between Toole and Trey Hume. Hawkins gets away. He gets a great left foot shot in. Kamara plays a lovely ball into him, but I mean, Conor Hazard's got to look at himself there, I think. He'll be disappointed that he doesn't got anything on this. I mean, he's on the near post, you know, and once you're there, you got to save it there. If he goes across the goal and it goes into the back post, you hold your hand up. But that's the post that he's defending, and he doesn't pick it up.
Hits the inside of the left post as Hawkins was looking at it, rolls across, goes into the side netting on the other side. Yeah. It's Hawkins' 4th international goal and just his 5th appearance. It's an Ant-Man style finishing. And Northern Ireland are 2-0 down.
Yeah, it's a long way back from this, Michael, now. It's a long way back from this.
So what the change is going to be, Michael O'Neill doesn't look a happy man on the edge of his technical area.
Oh, he'll be furious about that. I mean, to be fair, it was a good finish from him, and from Hawkins' point of view, the goalkeeper should have saved it, and they should never have got into that position in the first place.
All his goals, Hawkins, have come in this qualifying campaign. Plays for Vålerenga, and Conor Hazard with a free kick left-footed to the edge of the Finnish penalty area. An opportunity here for Northern Ireland, hit back immediately, but it's bouncing up and volleyed away eventually by Peltola, the left back, and Cameron's got the better of Jordan Thompson. Thompson's got to be careful, a yellow card and he'll miss Monday night. Northern Ireland 2 down. We've played 5 minutes in the second half. They're advancing with Karanen. He gets the ball back to Camara, and at the minute they're just retaining possession.
Yeah, I think they will do this now till the end of the game. It's going to be very difficult to get the ball off them. They're 2 goals up, they don't have to chase anything, and I think they're going to make
they try and play a bit of football now.
They might, yeah, but they're just certainly going to make the lads in green do a lot of chasing.
Schuller standing over it, hugely experienced. I was just saying to Northern Ireland, you come and get the ball if you want.
Yeah,
10
exactly. You know, it's
inside the Northern Ireland half. 21 players there. Schuller. They're not toying with Northern Ireland, they're just playing the clock down.
Yeah.
We've another 39 minutes to go. 16 Peltola. Long ball forward by Ivanov. The flag stays down.
No, it's gone up.
It eventually does. Yeah. Very slow.
It was, wasn't it? But you know, we've played 45 minutes the same way, and we've got nothing out of the game, and now we're 2-0 down, and I still don't see any movement to make a change here. I don't understand this.
Well, all the substitutes are warmly wrapped up. Free kick for Northern Ireland from that offside against Fredrik Jensen. And Conor Hazard clears left-footed, looking for Trey Hume, wins the header. But Finland have picked the ball up, and McCausland will just watch it run out of play. That'll be Northern Ireland throw. Michael O'Neill telling his team to up the energy. He looks, my goodness, he looks cheesed
angry,
off,
doesn't he? He definitely looks angry.
He's got that look on his face. We've seen that a few times down through the years.
I can understand it, Michael, because it was poor defending for the penalty, and again that was poor defending to let Hawkins.
So it's either side of half time. Northern Ireland conceded.
Yeah.
5 minutes before half time it was 0-0. 5 minutes after half time it was 2-0. Throw in taken back to Owen Toll. Lateral pass to Daniel Ballard.
See, again, Michael, we've had a throw in there which is 15 yards inside their half, and we end up back on the edge of our 18-yard box. To me, football's gone crazy here.
Isaac Price inside his own half gets the ball back to Ballard, keeping an eye if there's any sort of movement among the Northern Ireland substitutes. Long ball forward by Owen Toll down the right hand side, bit of shoulder barging by Dion Charles, who goes down under the challenge, wins a free kick. The referee's having a look at it, and he says no. Dion Charles, it was a foul.
Yeah, it was a foul, you know, but you know, they're in that sort of area now where referees don't know whether to give it or whether they don't, but
let the advantage go. I think that should have been blown.
Definitely was a free kick.
As it is, it's a Northern Ireland throw in their right hand side.
Yeah, but again, it's a long ball up the charge with nobody near him. You know, we've got to get up the field quicker, but we've got to do it a lot more constructively than that.
Trey Hume with a throw in. It's nearly level with the 18-yard box. The referee saying let's get on with it. McCausland comes across, gets the ball back to Hume. Hume's cross is doesn't beat anybody, cleared by the Finnish defence, only as far as McCausland. Here's George Saville. Saville chips it to the back post, and Dion Charles completely misses. It's not Dion Charles, to be fair, it's Daniel Ballard, who's
stayed up
misses
there.
his header.
It was a difficult one for him to try and get his head on. It wasn't really head height, it was almost shoulder height, and he's got the centre half with him. You know, he's trying to flick it, you know, back over his shoulder into the corner. It was difficult for him.
Northern Ireland 2-0 down against Finland here in Helsinki. Penalty just before half time, and a finish off the post. A finish off the post just at the start of the second half. Can Northern Ireland try and find something? Long ball for ranging, looking for Hawkins, and well cut out by Toll.
They've obviously done their homework, Michael, because they're targeting over, Trey Hume's shoulder down this left-hand side, obviously now.
It's a foul on Saville. Saville doesn't like it. He's getting annoyed. He's barged the goal scorer, Hawkins. We've seen the red mist descend a few times, haven't we, in the previous 49 caps for George Saville.
I mean, he needs to be careful here.
He's making his point to Glenn Camera.
I'm sure he don't give a toss.
No. And it'll be Conor Hazard coming out of his penalty area to take this free kick, Northern Ireland right hand side. Players all grouped halfway inside the Finnish half, long by Hazard. Everybody's jumping, flicked header on, it's bouncing around. Saville edge inside the penalty area. Is he going to score? Saville gets a shot in, and it's wide. In the end, well wide.
I think that makes the point I've been making, Michael, if you get the ball into the 18-yard box, these guys can't defend. I don't find there's too many defences that can deal with it. So the ball's knocked in, Ballard's knocking a few people about, the ball bobbles to Saville. And he hits it across the net, and unfortunately he's just pulled it a little bit wide of the post. But it's a half chance, and it's come from half decent cross into the box. We've got to do a lot more of that. Play in the final third, make them defend and see how good defenders they are, and I don't think they are that good.
10 minutes gone in the second half. Ball cleared by the Finns high into the freezing night sky, headed forward by Ballard to the feet of McCausland. Out to Hume. Hume looking for McCausland, continues run. The challenge comes in from left back Peltola, and that's a free kick on this right hand side for Northern Ireland. Michael O'Neill indicating where the free kick should be placed by Hume. It's not anywhere near where O'Neill wanted to take it, but
again, Toll, Ballard and McNair are up, so let's see what happens again, whether they get ahead to it, whether the defender gets ahead to it. But it's always the second ball that you're looking for.
Northern Ireland need to score. 2-0 down in Helsinki. Signal given by Trey Hume. The Northern Ireland right hand side, looking I think for McNair or Ballard, who challenges the goalkeeper. Side footed towards goal by Dion Charles. The Finnish fans were looking for the free kick for the challenge, and Thompson keeps the ball alive to Ross McCausland on the right hand side. McCausland, he can't evade the two defenders in front of him. The Finns clear down this left hand side. Strong challenge by Dion Charles to put the ball out of play.
Yeah, Hawkins didn't like it, did he?
An illegal one. Was perfectly good challenge.
Good challenge, yeah. But there's my point illustrated perfectly, Michael. We get a free kick 10 yards inside their half. We put it on the edge of the 18-yard box, and they panic.
It's back with Radetzky, all in orange away to our right. Finns 2-0 in front. Remember, neither of these countries can qualify out of Group H, but the Finns have got a Nations League back door, and we're going to see Josh McGuinness. Ball's back with Radetzky. Again, the Finns are trying to play out from the back.
Yeah, I think the two lads said it at half time. You've got to get McGuinness on.
He's going to replace Ross McCausland. Camera being forced back, finds Peltola down that left hand side. Hawkins, the scorer of the second goal. Camera in field, and they retain possession well.
They do, they're comfortable on the ball in that sense.
And we're also going to see the other experienced man up front, Conor Washington. So it's shades of 2016 all over again with Washington and McGuinness adding their experience up front. So double change coming up for Northern Ireland, and I think that Dion Charles is going to be the other fella to come off.
I think we all expected this at half time, so the second goal's obviously made his mind up to get them on now.
And it'll be in the 58th 59th minute, double change. Here come the Finns though, down the middle. Puyen Palo trying to keep the ball alive to Hawkins on the left hand side. He's up against Trey Hume, waiting for some support. Camera gets there, but that was an easily cut out pass for Jordan Thompson, but they've lost possession on their own right hand side, Northern Ireland. Peltola coming in from the left, good challenge coming in from Ross McCausland, who's about to be replaced. Timo Pukki, a very distinctive figure. Little touch of the gloves with Josh McGuinness. They all wait to come on. Finns now looking for a third goal. Hawkins on the left hand side again. He's up against Trey Hume, gets to the byline, gets the cross inside, footed away by Owen Toll. And all three of these new players, all very experienced for both club and country, are about to come on for the remaining 32 minutes.
It's not bad for the Finns to be able to bring on Pukki, is it?
No. now playing in the USA. Timo Pukki winning his 117th cap. Second behind Jari Litmanen, the all-time top scorer. 33 years old. He's got 38 goals, of course. Spells with both Celtic and Norwich City. And Dion Charles trudges off. Josh McGuinness is already on. Ross McCausland's debut lasted nearly an hour.
Yeah, I think he's done okay. You know, he's a young lad. You know, he looks as if he should be at school, but I think
a third of the squad do, Nigel.
Yeah, well, true enough. You know, so I don't think he's got anything to be disappointed about. I think the change is just tactical.
So it's Charles and McCausland off, McGuinness and Washington on, and Fredrik Jensen has made way for Timo Pukki, wearing number 10. And also, obviously, all wearing gloves. They're all wearing black gloves, but he's lost possession. Didn't win the corner decision, making his point to the referee. And the clearance kick from Conor Hazard, keeping goal away to our left. Is he slightly chunkier of figure?
He used to be. He certainly is, yeah. It didn't look to have that waistline when he was at Norwich.
Minnesota United these days, Timo Pukki. There's Peltola. Isaac Price gets the challenge in, but illegally so, says referee Hagayev of Azerbaijan. And we've half an hour left to play. And sadly for Northern Ireland fans, for the long suffering at the minute, Green and White Army, who've paid their money to come to Helsinki, there hasn't been an awful lot to get excited about. Free kick for Finland. Timo Pukki, more barrel chested than normal on this left hand side, wins the throw in. He's wearing bright orange boots. He ain't got much hair in his head either. All drifted onto his chin. And he leaves this throw in for Matti Peltola.
You got to commend the supporters, Michael, because there was a plane load of them came out with us on Wednesday. You know,
they love him in certain parts of East Anglia. Good ball by Camera. Cross from the left-hand side. It's going to break now. Shot comes in from Schuller, and it's blocked by Dan Ballard for a corner.
Yeah, again,
that was goal bound.
It was. It's all coming down this right-hand side. You know, that's where the danger is. A good cross, cross 18-yard box, and it was important that Ballard got the challenge in. Hazard might have been, in line with it behind him, but he was not to know when he gets a foot and knocks it out for a corner.
Well, I don't know if it was goal bound, but he hit it well.
He did, yeah.
It would have forced Hazard to make a save had not Ballard stuck out his leg and put it out for a corner on that far side. We've played nearly 17 minutes in the second half. Finland leading by 2-0. They play the corner short, and it's with the number 17 Alho.
I tell you, that was a great work.
And his
corner
cross was volleyed away, and now Northern Ireland might be able to break on the far side, but Conor Washington let it run through his legs, and he's lost possession to Daniel Hawkins.
I was just going to say, Michael, their corner was perfectly well played until it got to Alno, and then his cross into the box was hopeless.
And it's back with the Finland goalkeeper passing out of defence, and they have options on this left hand side with Peltola, and they play the simple ball to the blonde haired left back wearing number 16. Looks up, tries to sweep the ball. That was a terrible pass straight into the midriff of captain for the night George Saville, but Northern Ireland in return cough up possession. It's been poor.
It has been
you
poor.
have to say it's been poor. And here come the Finns down the right hand side. They're 2 goals to the good. Timo Pukki's probably doing more walking than running at the minute, and he's waiting for a cross to come in from that right hand side. Tenho to Karenin. Camera's available in this left channel for the Finns. Again, he's up against Trey Hume. Ball infield, and again they're playing possession football. Peltola to Ivanov, the big centre back, sweeps it out to the right hand side, nodded down in the path of Puyan Palo, who smashes it a mile high and a mile wide. It bounces twice on the running track and nearly into the fans a mile behind the goal. Defended by Conor Hazard. What a dreadful shot.
The build-up was brilliant. I mean, they were playing down in front of us here, just on the halfway line, and they switched it out, to Al on the other side, and he sets up
He looked like he was in an Olympic event of trying to kick the ball out of the stadium.
I mean, it was awful shot.
Left-footed clearance from the goal kick from Conor Hazard. Washington tussling with his man, or McGuinness tussling with his man. It's bouncing around. Camera's tussling with Trey Hume.
Kamara's done well.
Peltola chips it forward, looking for Pukki to put Toll under some pressure. Toll is looking a little bit at 6s and 7s, and eventually does put it out of play, but he's fouled by Puyan Palo. Makes the appeal to the referee and gets the appeal and gets a handshake from his partner Daniel Ballard.
Yeah, he got underneath the ball and lost exactly where the two strikers were. He was lucky he got out of that.
So a free kick. He's taken quite a few free kicks, Conor Hazard, out of his penalty area. Still no further thoughts of substitutions from either side. We've played 19 minutes in the second half. Finland leading Northern Ireland by 2-0.
Well, you can see them on the touchline. Michael O'Neill is trying to get them up the park and squeeze it up into the final third. But as this ball comes up here, they've got to win that and then try and play from there.
Josh McGuinness, he's a frustrated figure.
To be fair,
comes
now
off a finished leg and goes out of play.
But since McGuinness has come on, Michael, he hasn't had a decent ball to deal with.
Josh McGuinness, yes, the king of the late goals, the king of the substitute goals.
We're just throwing it straight to a Finnish defender.
And it's popped out of play by Peltola again. Josh McGuinness on 12. He's on 11 goals. 12 would put him level with the likes of Armstrong and Dowie and Bambrick and Jimmy Quinn in the all-time charts. Throw-in taken by Hume. On the halfway line is Jordan Thompson. Thompson tonight winning cap 34. And remember, he's in 2 yellows should he get a caution in the remaining 25 minutes. He missed the home game against Denmark, the last match of the group on Monday night. 7:45 kick-off live on BBC Sounds and Radio Ulster. It's another
this is awful,
hopeful and in the end hopeless ball forward by Northern Ireland. Stab forward looking for Pukki by Finland on the right hand side. He's got 3 white shirts in support. He gets the cross in. It wasn't a cross, it just bounces into the waiting hands of Conor Hazard.
Yeah, I think it
Pukki is not the force he was.
No, he's not. No, I was thinking
No
it was a decent substitution, but you're right, Michael, he's not the same player. He doesn't look mobile. He looks as if he's carrying a little bit of weight.
Far be it from us to criticise, but
well, you speak for yourself.
Cheaper so.
After what you had last night.
Easy. Long thump forward by Owen Toll. I was forced to eat that, otherwise it would have gone to waste. They're very keen not to waste food here in Finland. They're very environmentally conscious, dubbed the happiest nation on earth. So.
Well, I'll tell you, they've all been very, very pleasant around the hotel and in the stadium in particular, Michael, because we've been to some stadiums when,
they're not exactly thrilled to see you.
No, they're not.
Camera has lost the ball now. Connor Washington is able to get it out to Jordan Thompson inside the Finnish half. Saville. There's a run forward by Lewis, but he's not going to get there. He nearly get the luck of the bounce off the clearance, but it hits off his knee and out of play.
And again, Michael, we've got in a good position just outside 6 or 8 yards outside their 8-yard box, and Saville only needs to get the ball out to Jamal Lewis, and he doesn't make the pass. I mean, we're crying out for a wee bit of creativity in midfield. Shea Charles, I think, would have made a big difference in there, but unfortunately he's not there.
If this continues, Hradetsi's going to say, didn't have a lot to do tonight, not really a save to make.
He's had nothing to do, he's had absolutely nothing to do in the second half.
Puyan Palo gets it out to Rasmus Schuller. Schuller chips it forward. Puyan Palo's made the run forward, nodded away. Hume continues the clearance. That's good defending.
Yeah, both Ballard and Hume did well to get that clear.
Price stabs it forward, looking for Connor Washington on that left-hand side.
I mean, our front two, well, the 2 lads that are up there, Washington and McGuinness, must be absolutely going off their head. I mean, they haven't had a decent ball, even in the feet and chest high that they can control and bring our midfield up into the game.
Into the final quarter here in freezing cold Helsinki. Finns are 2-0 up. Northern Ireland at the minute don't even look like putting the Finnish goalkeeper under some sort of threat. The Finns have it. They're on the attack. They look the more likely side to score the 3rd goal of this game.
We're getting outplayed in midfield.
Pukki gets it down. Hawkins on the right hand side. Here comes the cross. It's an outswinger. Puyan Palo chests it down, and it's picked up by it's not picked up by McGuinness because he loses out in the challenge to Karanen. At the minute, Northern Ireland look like a side bereft of ideas.
They do, yeah.
And struggling in the cold. Camera trying to get past, but Hume does well. The Camera keeps the ball in on this left hand side, gets it back to the left back, and all they have to do is retain possession.
That's all. They don't have to do anything fancy. Just play football.
That's a bad challenge by Hume. Catches Camera late, and that'll be a Finland free kick. Still no thoughts or signs of movement from either bench for the last
I think it's the shape
minutes.
We're playing, Michael. We're continuing. We've almost, because they've got so much of the ball, we've almost reverted to 5 at the back. We're supposed to be playing 3 centre halves and 5 in midfield. It doesn't look like that now.
And at the minute, Northern Ireland can't get hold of the football. Just as I say that, Finland give the ball away to Ballard. That's a good pass to Josh McGuinness inside the centre circle. There's room now in front of Isaac Price, right edge of the area to the back post. Washington with a chance. Oh, it took a touch off the defender, and Washington let it run for the corner instead.
Tenno done well. It was a great ball by Price.
Enough.
Yeah, he just got it with the end of his toe and took it out of the path of
first real moment of danger in the second half.
But it's the first time we've passed the ball twice to the centre forwards. Give them something we can deal with. It was a nice ball across the box, and I think Washington did well to let it go for the corner, because the angle he was on, he wasn't going to be able to get it back in from there.
Right, we've got a little bus queue for this corner from the left-hand side for Isaac Price. McNair's there. Captain Saville, Toll and Ballard are queuing up on the penalty spot. Up go the hands from Price. Curls in from the left-hand side, looking for Paddy McNair. Doesn't reach McNair. Volleyed away by Pookie. Up goes Trey Hume to win the header forward. Ballard still up. It's going to break for George Saville on the edge of the D, but that's good work. And the Finns have stolen this from Rasmus Schuller, who stumbles slightly as he gets the ball upfield to Pookie, who's offside.
It's incredible. He's standing offside and he doesn't see it. Yeah, you can see why he's on the bench, Michael, because he's certainly not the player he was,
But maybe the coach thinks he can get 25 minutes out of him.
Well, the thing is if you get him in the box, when he doesn't have to run about too much, he's still got the quality to score a goal.
Hazard, white 12 in his blue jersey, takes the free kick to the edge of the penalty area, nodded away by the Finns. Lewis has barely seen the ball in the last 15 minutes. Here he is, left corner of the penalty area. Tries to give it back to.
Tell you what, he got away with that.
McNair.
That was a third pass.
There's 3 or 4 in the box waiting for a cross. Lewis comes in field, side foots it to Saville, continues his run forward. Opportunities now for Washington. Low cross, easily cut out, and clearance completed. Northern Ireland corner.
That was a good period of play by Northern Ireland. They were patient, and they worked it over there. You had Jamal Lewis, you had McNair, and they took their time to make the opening. But when the ball goes to Connor Washington, he's got to get it past the first defender again, Michael, and give somebody a chance here.
Finns are about to make a double change in midfield. Another corner from the left-hand side for Northern Ireland. 19 minutes left to play. They're 2 down. In from Price, and it doesn't find a green shirt.
I tell you, that's a great corner from Price, right into the 6-yard box. The goalkeeper's rooted to his line, but we just can't get on the end of it. The pace on the ball, is what makes it such a good cross.
2 experienced midfielders coming on for Finland for the last 19 minutes. Robert Taylor, Inter Miami, and Robin Lode. He's at Minnesota, teammate of Timo. And they're coming on.
Goal scorers coming off,
63rd cap, Taylor 33rd, and the goal scorer Daniel Hogan's coming off. And also the hugely experienced Rasmus Schuller.
Yeah.
Players applaud the fans applaud the players. TV highlights tonight, BBC One Northern Ireland 10 past 11. Also be available on the iPlayer as well. Northern Ireland throwing halfway inside the Finland half. Northern Ireland right.
Great
nice
touch.
Flick by Washington into the path of Isaac Price. Price has played well.
He has,
done well with the set pieces, and
I think he's one.
Looks like a player.
He could be with a little bit more experience. He could do well.
And now it's Standard Liège. Trey Hume on the right hand side with a throw in. Isaac Price has made some movement. It's gone to the experienced Connor Washington with 2 defenders around him, and he's offside.
Trey Hume's got to realise that. He's played the ball into Washington. He's got to hold his ground. He can't go forward because Washington's been defended by the last defender, and he just makes that forward run, and they're quite happy to let him run in there, and he's definitely offside.
Finland's win, if they hold on to their lead, would put them on to 15 points from 9 matches, but not within striking distance of the top 3. Kazakhstan, who played earlier, won against San Marino 3-1, and later on be just over an hour's time, Denmark's Slovenia. Chance for Pookie's through, and he's curled it into the corner. It's a lovely finish, and that's why an even out of shape Timo Pukkie's on the bench. Ball through the middle, curls it into the path of Pookie. Pookie side foots it past Hazard, And with 17 minutes left to play, Finland are now 3 up.
Yeah, I said it 5 minutes ago. He's not the player he was, but if you get him inside the 18-yard box and he will finish, and he did, picked it up, lovely 1-2 and superb finish. Hazard got no chance with that one, but I think he saw the Pookie of old there. He's actually won, set up the 1-2, takes it, I think it's gone through Paddy McNair's legs, he's nutmegged him, and then the finish was excellent.
Well, we've been dissing him for 10 minutes since he came on, and there it is. He's a finisher.
To be fair, we said that, Michael. That's what he is. He's a finisher, and if we had a finisher like that, I don't care if he stays up the park all the time and does nothing, because that's what he's on the field for.
Yeah, slid it through the legs of Paddy McNair in the build-up to that.
Beautiful.
Nice finish. Top corner with the right foot, and it's 3-0. And there are just over 15 minutes left to play. This is quite depressing, John.
It is depressing.
All neutrality aside.
I never thought that we would be on the end
yes,
of a 3-0.
there are 15 players missing. Yes, Shea Charles is suspended, but
we're not doing the basics, Michael. We're not defending well. We're going to sleep. I know there's an experience in the team and they've got to learn quickly, but I mean, that's basics. You should know the basics.
Ball's cleared by Finland. Owen Toll. That serves me right for looking down at my group table.
Well, the thing about it is, and I know I've said this quite a bit, Michael, I don't like the system that we play. Now, I may be wrong, but the way I look at it is that we've been doing this the whole way through the group and we've got nowhere. I would just love to see us try something different.
Hume, ball in field to Jordan Thompson. Saville, he's going to remember his 50th cap and his captaincy too fondly. The danger is now Pookie's
that's what he can't do, Michael. He can't do that anymore. No, he hasn't got that, but around the box, as he's shown, he's still a finisher.
Hazard came out the edge of his area and clutched it in front of the orange booted Timu. Washington on the far side. They keep it in, they only keep it alive for Jamal Lewis. Here's Washington trying to create something, gets the shot in, it's deflected, an easy bounce, and we're going to see Brodie Spencer on for the last 13 minutes to win his 5th cap on loan at Motherwell. Brought in and given a few starts by previous manager Ian Barraclough. So at the minute we're not seeing Marshall or Taylor or McMenamin.
I just don't understand that. I really don't.
Finland have coughed up possession. McGuinness.
That's our centre forward. He's winning the ball inside the centre circle.
Hume. Hume's taking a tumble. Challenged illegally by Peltill to the right back, and that'll be a Northern Ireland free kick and a chance for Brodie Spencer to come on and replace Jordan Thompson with 13 minutes to go.
Yeah, I think Thompson tried hard in there, but again, we need a quality player in there of the likes of Shea Charles who can start to dictate a game, and we don't have that on the pitch at the minute. And we've got a free kick here, Michael. What is it, about 20 yards inside their half, a couple of yards in from the touchline, and we know this is going to go into the box, and this is where we've had our most success, or relative success, of putting their back four under any sort of pressure.
Free kick from the right, Isaac Price with an outswinger, headed up into the night sky. It's bouncing around, volleyed away by the Finnish defence. Still there for Northern Ireland. Bit of head tennis. Saville gets it forward, waiting for a volley over the top by Daniel Ballard.
It was a decent effort, but again, they can't defend it. They're knocking the ball up in the air, they're heading the ball up in the air, and it's coming down, and we're getting half chances.
I'm sorry if we sound a bit downbeat, but it's a reflection of the night.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's very difficult, Michael, to commentate on the game when we are getting no success anywhere in the field. We're not holding the ball long enough to put them under pressure. They've slowed the game right down and quite happy just to knock the ball back and forth all night. And they took, 2 chances they had in the second half. With that little bit of quality, they scored 2 goals.
This is a Finland team that's lost the last 3, scoring 1. Yeah. Camera, they're looking for more goals in the last sort of 12 minutes. They've got the ball on that right-hand side. They slowed it right down. It's a very dejected-looking Michael O'Neill just standing there.
Well, you know, to be fair to Michael O'Neill, he is putting a lot of players out there who are inexperienced and they don't have the caps and are learning the game as they go along. But they've got to learn very, very quickly. But he'll be disappointed in the manner of the goals that we lost, particularly the first two.
Back by Taylor, the goalkeeper, Radetzky, who really hasn't had a save to make.
No.
It's an aimless ball for the Finns. Have done their work.
Yeah.
It's just over 10 minutes and they can get back into the warmth of the changing room. Pookie still trying to chase that ball back pass down to Connor Hazard. Toll launches it long. Camera slipped over and that's created a little bit of room for Price. He just can't control the ball. It's played back to the goalkeeper, who side foots it away to Peltola.
And I know I said, Michael, you know, at half time we've got to play more direct, but at the end of the day, that's not the directness that I'm talking about.
Here's Taylor on the left hand side for Finland. That's a nice little pass. The big centre back Ivanov thinks he's a winger.
I mean, in that piece of play there, Michael, Tolles had the ball maybe 20 yards outside the 18-yard box, and he's trying to hit our front men 20 yards outside the opposition's box. The pitch is too stretched, you know. We cannot get a decent ball into them, and even when we do, our midfield players are too far apart. We've got to squeeze up the park and then try and hit the front men quickly.
So fouled by Hume, give away the free kick on the Northern Irish right. Finland have the ball with Camera. We've got 10 minutes of normal time left to play. The Finns are 3 goals to the good. Camera has just been outnumbered on this near side. McGuinness has won the ball back infield to George Saville. Lewis has gone on a run. He's on the halfway line now on the left hand side. He's up against Alho. There's not many players rushing to his aid. Here's the captain, George Saville. Still no signs of any further substitutions.
To be honest, I don't think there's much that Michael can do. You know, I don't think there's much that he can do.
Ballard gets the ball back to Hazard. Kicks left-footed over the halfway line. Underneath will be Josh McGuinness jumping off the knee of Tenho inside the centre circle, nodded forward by Brodie Spencer. Spencer's out in this right-hand side now. Peltola. Taylor wearing number 7. Infield to Peltola. Brodie Spencer's cut out the danger. That's not a great ball to Toll, who deals with it well on the right-hand side. Flag is up.
Yeah, Connor Washington standing offside.
Quickly taken.
And it certainly
Taylor
wasn't there.
Pookie popping up on the left-hand side. Timo Pukkie's wriggling and
he's offside.
Have you ever seen somebody? They're going to make another change, the Finns, and it's going to be Lucas Lingman, another HJK player, one to make his 10th senior international appearance, former teammate of Connor Hazard when he was here in Helsinki last year. He's wearing number 15, and he's going to slot into that midfield. I expect of a rather easy 9 minutes and another cap. And there's a little shove there by Josh McGuinness, and that'll be a Finland free kick in this game is fizzling out in the cold of Helsinki.
Yeah, and that's the way they usually do, Michael, when they start making all these changes. The whole shape and form of the game is gone. And again, I feel for spectators, because in the last sort of 10
double
minutes,
change by Finland.
There's nothing happening other than substitutions.
Noah Pallas, defender, he's coming on for his 3rd cap. Well, you can't you? You're 3-0 up at home against
you can do.
A toothless opposition. Free kick played forward by the Finnish goalkeeper. Header won by Daniel Ballard. Price has played it back for Brodie Spencer. Spencer plays it off the defender, wins the throw in on this near side. The double change can now be effected.
Yeah, it's strange. Spencer's coming on. He's basically taken Trey Hume's place on this right hand side, and Hume's now playing even more central role.
Puyan Palo.
I just don't see any shape or form at Northern Ireland at the minute.
Puyan Palo's coming off, and also coming off Alho, right back. Popular figure, Joel Puyan Palo.
I think that's the 5 subs they've on, Michael. Yeah. I think that's it. You know, it's amazing. They've almost got half a team now that's completely different.
Oh, there's one Finn not wearing gloves. That's the centre back Tenho.
Yeah, but centre backs are tough.
Oh, hard. Long ball forward by Northern Ireland. Isaac Price, he's up against the man just on, Noah Pallas.
He's done well, Pallas, but again, it's a ball, and it's not a ball that Price can take comfortably. All the distribution into our front men. They're having to, fight with defenders all the time. There's no clean cut pass into them that gives them time to control it and find a green shirt and get us up the park.
Here we are. A little bit of history now. Michael Forbes coming on for his debut. Callum Marshall coming on for his third cap. Got that, in inverted commas, goal, late equaliser in Copenhagen. It was ruled out by the evil villain that is VAR. So Michael Forbes becomes the 33rd player used in this campaign. He's one of that little knot of West Ham United players, young Northern Irish West Ham United players. And he's coming on for the last 6 minutes of this match, as is the blonde-haired Callum Marshall. Forbes is wearing 18, Marshall's wearing 16. Forbes from Arbo and County Tyrone. Northern Ireland won the ball back on the edge of the Finland penalty area. Saville wriggling it out to Lewis. There's 3 green shirts in the penalty area waiting for a ball in. Lewis got 2 defenders in front of him, gets the ball back to his captain George Saville. Still Forbes and Marshall wait to come on. Northern Ireland have given the ball away on the far side, and it's off a retreating Northern Ireland defender, and it's out of play, and here's a chance for Trey Hume's going to make way for Michael Forbes. He's had a busy night, Hume.
He has, yeah.
And Isaac Price is the man to come off to be replaced by Callum Marshall.
Oh, it's a hard game to work at, Michael. You just want them to do so well, and we're getting nothing at all, nothing to talk about.
Well, you'd like to think there'll be no other qualifying campaign like it in terms of injuries, both the experienced players and some of the up and coming ones as well, and have so many players wiped out for the entire campaign.
And that's this campaign never got started.
Here come the Finns on the left hand side. They're sensing a chance of another goal possibly. Taylor, though, has lost the ball. Paddy McNair, a little passing triangle on the edge of the area. Toll out to this near side. Marshall's out on this right. And Forbes out on that left hand side.
You doubt if Michael O'Neill has ever got what he would have considered his starting 11 out on the park in this campaign at all. I mean, the injury list just kept going on and on and on, and especially to
first touch for Forbes on the far side.
Experienced players, Michael, and I feel for the players and I feel for the manager, because this campaign never got off the ground from day one.
He was under 19, Northern Ireland under 19 captain Michael Forbes, 19 years old. Imagine 5 minutes before kick-off in Sarah Valley back in March, it said Northern Ireland would end up using 33.
Yeah, I know.
In 9 qualifiers. Here come Finland, the right hand side. Pukki doesn't make any sort of connection with that, and he slices it out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, he expected more from him. It's the position he's in, and he's made his name down through the years.
So yes, it's been a remarkable campaign, mainly for all the wrong reasons for Northern Ireland.
And when the draw was made and you looked at the group and you thought you've got a genuine
sense of optimism. I thought Michael O'Neill was back as manager.
Yeah, I thought this gives us a great chance with 2 qualifying automatic out of
There was no
group.
big beast in the group
No,
either.
there wasn't. No, and even when you look at the group and you see the matches that we lost, and you think they're not the best teams anyway. But circumstances have sort of just all come together at the wrong time.
Finland rolled the ball back to the goalkeeper. Not a great clearance by Radetzky. Chested down by Saville to Paddy McNair. McNair twisting and turning back with Saville. We've 3 minutes of normal time left to play here in Helsinki. The Finns are leading by 3-0. Brodie Spencer, one of the second half substitutes. Crossed by McNair's behind everybody in a green jersey, and the Finns come away with that. The ball is onside. Pukki, left hand side. There's a little bit of pace from Pukki, looking for his second goal in the game. Slots it through. That's brilliant. Oh, that is brilliant. That's a brilliant goal. Fourth goal for Finland. And they have taken Northern Ireland apart towards the end of that. And it's the hugely experienced substitute Robin Lode with it. That is game, set and match for a very sorry Northern Ireland. 4-0.
We've attacked down the right hand side. The crosses come in the box, and it's we've overrun it. It's behind everybody, and 3 passes later and they've side-footed into the net. It's a great counter attack. Again, Pukki showed his class. He done well just to stay on side, just at the halfway line, and the pass into the ball is exquisite, and Lodge's run was perfectly timed, and a great finish.
That was a great goal.
It was a great goal, and on any side. And as I say, we saw what Pukki can do. It's a beautiful pass. It was put on a plate for him, and all he had to do was lift it over the keeper.
The substitutes have had an impact, but probably the game was already won by the time.
The game was won. It was easy for them to go on and do that, but I think they might be looking at this as a possible offside for when Pukki picked the ball up. But I think he was on it.
I think he was on.
But I think that's what they're looking at.
Goal check.
Because that's the only thing I can think of that is run into the box, and certainly the pass, and the scorer was definitely offside. Yeah,
goal's given.
Yeah, it's a good goal. It would have been sad for them for that to have been clocked off, because it was a great move, great passing move,
And it was like a Swiss clock. All the timing was right. All the individual parts of the move were brilliantly done.
The weight of the pass, the positioning, and the support, and we don't have that in our side, Michael. We don't have that quality.
So the Minnesota United teammates link up. Robin Lode, his 6th international goal and his 63rd appearance. And I'm not sure if any of his previous 5 have been better than that one.
Yeah.
Set up the winning goal in Belfast. Northern Ireland looking for consolation. This is their worst ever defeat if it stays 4-0 against Finland. The previous one, 1999, here by 4-1. I wonder, is the 4th official going to be
kind,
generous and kind?
Yeah.
And not show a number more than 1 on his board. It's about to go up now.
4. Has to be something like 4 with all the substitutions, you would think.
Yeah, well, have they got that sort of flurry of 8, 9 and 10 minutes of additional time not so long ago?
Yeah, it was crazy, wasn't it?
Well, the Chelsea-Tottenham was crazy. There's been some crazy additional minutes in the top flight in England, and the board is going to go up. It's
another
3.
Great run.
Another good run by Pukki. We take it all back, Timo. He's on the right-hand side. He's beaten the substitute. Timo Pukki's going to square it. Oh, there's nobody there in a white shirt. That was brilliant play.
Yeah.
And he led Michael Forbes a merry dance.
Yeah.
At the either opposite ends of the experience scale. And Northern Ireland are ending this game in a ragged fashion.
They are ragged, And it'd be nice to have a player like Pukki to come on with half an hour to go and give you that sort of performance. But as I say, in the right areas, they have experience and they have good players, and that's obviously at the scoring end of the game, and we just cannot buy a goal for love nor money.
Northern Ireland throw in on this near side there, right. Brodie Spencer will take the throw in. A very quiet group of Northern Ireland fans away to our right. Flag has gone up.
I'm not sure. Is that offside or is it a foul? I'm not sure.
Either way, it is a free kick for Finland inside their own half. We've got just under 2 minutes left to play here in Helsinki.
Well, we said that, Michael. We said it, today, and we said it last night when we were chatting to a few of the press guys, that, once a goal goes in, it's basically over for us.
Substitute on this near side. Pallas gets the ball back. Finland playing some football inside their own half. And the fans will think it's a case of what might have been those
they must
3
be very
consecutive defeats in what has not been a strong group.
No,
let's not beat about the bush.
Yeah,
it's not a vintage Denmark team.
No.
Kazakhstan. We've been rude about them.
Yeah, and Slovenia
for the entire length of the group.
Yeah, Slovenia have got two good strikers, which has put them in that position. But outside of that,
Slovenia are best side in the group, John.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah. Well,
the most dangerous, I think.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see what happens.
Denmark
later on this evening. Could be squeaky bum time there in Copenhagen. Denmark, Slovenia, top 2 in the group. Slovenia ahead on.
Well, if Denmark beat them, it's going to be some game on Monday when Slovenia and Kazakhstan meet.
And of course, all those games played concurrently on Monday.
Yeah.
Northern Ireland, Denmark. Denmark obviously still in the chase. Here it has been, certainly in the second half, one-way traffic. Camera's gone forward. I think he was offside though, but Camera is trying to win the ball back off Owen Toll. And it's out of play on this near side. We're into the last 20 seconds of the match.
It's difficult to know what Michael's going to say about this game after.
How do you build them up for Monday night?
It's going to be difficult.
Ball's inside the Northern Ireland half. There's a push. It'll be a Northern Ireland free kick, and that we played the additional 3 minutes.
Michael.
And that is that.
Yeah.
With all the injuries, Shea Charles suspended, a miserable evening for Northern Ireland and their captain George Saville on the occasion of his 50th cap. They've lost here to Finland by 4-0. They conceded a first half penalty late in the half, converted by Joel Pullen-Palo. That became 2-0 just 3 minutes into the second half with a tidy finish by Daniel Hawkins off the post. But should Conor Hazard have done better? Teemu Pukki, a wonderful finish. The 73rd minute made it 3-0. Substitute. And another substitute, Robin Lode. Another brilliant goal, the best goal of the game. Brilliantly set up, brilliantly created. Well finished by Lode. And that was 4-0 in the 88th minute. And Northern Ireland in the second half barely get a kick. Didn't put Radetzky or the Finnish defence under any sort of pressure. And that's why Northern Ireland, John, need their 1-11 or their 1-13 or their 1-14 fit and available.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
and ready to play. 33 players have now been used. Michael Forbes came on for senior international debut. The players, to be fair to them, are applauding the travelling fans, but look, that was men against boys in the end.
You cannot fault them for effort. You can never fault them, the Northern Ireland side, for effort. They've lost all their experience, Michael. All the experienced players are gone at the minute. We just don't have that. You look at the back four. We had Ballard, we had Hume, we had Toll. You know, they're inexperienced players. Michael will be disappointed with the first 2 goals because I think they could have been, stopped. But once you give them 2 goals, the game is over because we cannot score a goal here. We're looking at players and seeing what's available for the future, but it's going to be very difficult. They're going to have another difficult game on Monday, and you could face another defeat in this group. And when you look at the group and you think the only 2 games we've won is against San Marino, the worst team in the world, that doesn't look good. But I think we've got to look long term. I keep saying this, Michael. Northern Ireland's success has been cyclical, and we know that. I mean, it was 58, then it was 82, then it was 86. We had a purple patch there, and then it was 2016. We might have to wait until whatever 28 or wherever it's going to be. And these are the players that we're going to have to, to go forward with. But in the times when we had success, we had young players coming into a team that had a base of successful and experienced players, and that's my worry. As I said earlier in the game, the players that are out now, Davis, Evans, Dallas, 3 of the best players we ever had. You've got to ask yourselves, are they going to be coming back into the squad and being that rock that they were, before? I'm not sure. I hope to God that particularly Stuart Dallas can get over its injury, but that's been a long time. Steve Davis, you got to wonder, and again, Johnny Evans is at that stage now where he's older. He's easily picking up injuries, and it's more difficult to get over it. But I just feel so sorry for the team at the minute. Just nothing's going right for them.
5th win in the group for Finland out of 9 matches. They're on 15 points. They will finish. I'll stick my neck out and say they will finish on 18 points. They go to San Marino on Monday night. Northern Ireland finish for that game against Denmark. The possibility that Paul Smith might be available for that. Shea Charles back after suspension. If these young players, the Michael Forbes and the Callum Marshalls and all the young ones, are going to have success at some stage in the future, they will look back at this night as a low point.
Yeah, it's a low point, but it's a learning point as well. And the thing about it is that they've got to learn very, very quickly. We talked about the Nations League, Michael, and we're not great fans of it, but that's the next step for them. They've got to get a side together and get something out of the Nations League so that we can go forward to the World Cup qualifying with a bit of hope. But it just depends how quickly these players can progress. And you just don't know that. That's in the lap of the gods.
John O'Neill, thank you very much indeed. There will be happier nights. There will be happier occasions for the travelling hordes of green and white fans. Finland players are celebrating with their supporters. They still get a playoff to come in the spring. Good luck to them. Here in the Olympic Stadium in freezing Helsinki, it finished for the first time a 4-goal defeat for Northern Ireland against the Finns. Finland 4, Northern Ireland 0.
John, Michael, thank you both very much. Watching with me here in Belfast, Warren Feeney and Michael O'Connor, former internationals. I mean, the goal within 3 minutes of the restart just killed things, Warren, didn't it?
Very poor. As what was said at half time, you're getting in nothing in the game. Yes, 1-0 down, but I'm sure Michael would have said to them the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes, stay tight. turn them, but they give the goal away, and what a poor goal it was. It more or less set the way the game was going to end with that goal, and you'll be looking back there. And
there was no way back from that, was there?
There was no way back, but I say just got worse.
You said as we were watching the game, after 39 minutes, it's 0-0. We've had some decent moments of possession, and you hit the 48th minute, you're 2-0 down.
100%, but it's what I said, that goes in, and you're just, it's not the start you want after half time, but it more just typified the rest of the performance. But the goals Michael will look back on, and all of them were very, very poor to give away.
Yeah, they're all preventable, Michael, isn't it? That's the frustrating part.
Yeah, if you look at them all, I always say that the worst time they concede is just before half time and just after half time. So, as you said, 40 minutes 0-0, well in the game. Comes to 50 minutes, 2-0 down, and then it gives Finland a bit of momentum to sort of kick on a bit.
And any energy that may have been sort of built up with whatever the manager has said at half time, it's just evaporates, does it, within 3 minutes of the restart?
Just goes, as Fido was saying there as well. They're all preventable goals.
Defensively, the second one's really bad, though, isn't it?
Defensively, the second one's awful. The first one for the penalty, got down the right side easy, and then I looked at Jamal Lewis's position as well. If he don't come right across in the middle, he could probably prevent Easy Price getting back and making that challenge. And then the second one was the goalkeeper. He should save that.
Near post.
Never get beat your near post. You always tell your keeper.
It's the inside of his near post, goes across, hits the inside of the other post, and then goes into the net.
Yeah, and then that's the game. Yeah,
Paddy McNair's nutmeg for the third one.
Yeah. Well, it's 3v1. You look at Pookie does a 1-2, and there's 3 centre backs against 1. You have to deal with that. You have to.
Yeah. And then the fourth one's basically the icing on the cake, Warren, isn't it? It's a great finish, to be fair. It's well worked.
It's a great finish, great we spin off. And as John says, he's not the player he was, but you can see he's got quality, and that quality showed where we said in the first half of Northern Ireland we've got into bits, but there's been no belief, there's no quality there. Pookie, it's a fantastic bit of play from him for the fourth goal. You're looking at a poor goal for Michael to give away, but a great bit of individual magic from a very good player. And you know what? In the second half, it just wasn't Northern Ireland at all. We were just talking there before we come back on air. As players, we've been all these games, but the one thing that worries me is we always went down with a fight at that minute in time. I'm just not seeing it with the players. It just looks to me they're getting into things half-hearted. There's an acceptance there.
Well, they just want the campaign to be over, don't they?
And that's it, but it's not a great thing to have. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you're representing your country, and I was one of them. I'm sure Michael will tell you, we couldn't wait to get away. Yes, with losses, draws, but we always give it 100%. But it just worries me at that time, at this minute. And we were just saying it's probably the way football's gone. Now, everyone wants to be brought up with Pep Guardiola. No one's good enough to play the way Pep plays. We've had hard coaches, strong coaches, you respond. But for me, there's a lot given to the players nowadays at all levels. And
you're not seeing enough back.
I'm not seeing it. I'm being honest.
Okay, we'll talk a lot more about that, I'm sure. We're on till 7:15. We'll take a breather. Let's get the latest BBC News.
BBC News NI.